All right, pretty simple one. Some of you will find this simpler than others. How does Jiggless's death make you feel?
I feel Jiggles is dead, and Gombo, I feel fine. No, I'm happy. I'm happy he's dead. He's a son of a bitch. Fuck Jiggles. I wish I could kill him again.
Learn necromancy, kill him again.
Who got the last kill last time? Was it? Was I the one that killed him? Okay. So yeah, Fergus is satisfied he got the kill. Because he wanted to make sure he died by his own hands. Because he made him do dwarf things.
Mm.
Justice is done to that fish hole, but there's a lot more fish in this ocean.
There's a lot more fish in this hole.
Dad, stop talking about the fish's holes.
Don't worry, guys. I'm going to have someone invent a plug that we can pull and just drain the entire ocean.
I will not stop talking about fish holes. Those 3 months awakened something in me.
Oh, no, fish hole. Something clicked in my brain. We're going to get a portable hole and stick it in the bottom of the river.
That would take so long to drain.
Multiple holes.
I mean, it would physics-wise technically work, but it would just be it would be like the longest bathtub drain in the universe.
No, you see, we do that, and then every day I just come out and watch it go down a little bit at a time till I die.
And then,
this rate will be overcome by global warming before this lake is empty.
And then, 500 years from now, the sea level drops an inch, and some wizard notices and plugs up the hole.
All right, so Thrum and Milgram.
Yeah, Thrum's good with it. All things must die.
Not going to think too deeply into that.
Orgwin would think that his death was too swift.
Damn. I'm going to torture this motherfucker?
I mean, it's what was done to him.
Very true.
Just a little light experimentation. All right.
No, I see your argument. When you put it that way, you make a very good point.
Okay, let me find a good music for this one here.
Yeah, that's what she's
wasn't there like a big menacing demon fish man coming after us?
Yep.
We're going to eat that meatloaf and stuff with Mom later.
Oh, they're eating the meatloaf.
Give us a meatloaf, Richard. Give us a meatloaf.
It better not be a euphemism. I want it to be literal meatloaf.
Dude, I thought you were saving the meatloaf for me.
I do. Meatloaf was one of those foods on TV that I saw like people shit on, but I always loved the good.
I didn't realize. I thought I had muted myself. So
we really only heard the word meatloaf, so we were all jumping in on that.
Oh no, sorry. My grandmother decided to come in one night in the game when I told people. I tell people that like they've known for years. Mm-hmm. This is the one day of the week I do anything, and they always choose this day of the week to come barging in.
I know that feeling. Why do you think I moved to a different state?
They still do it.
Yeah.
Yes.
The airfare is making them broke, but they're very satisfied.
Anyway, sorry about that, guys.
No worries.
So I missed if he said anything after we did the question.
We could have easily ignored it. We chose to latch on to meatloaf. Sure.
Yes. It's because it was both a random sounding but also innocuous word.
Just like meatloaf. All right, and that's the meatloaf segment. Cut it.
Really? It wasn't in the script. Wait, these aren't scripted. Are they? No.
Everything in the world is scripted, guys.
Only
I
by
do
the
love that-
eighth dimensional spider that controls all of our minds.
Mhm.
Wait until they learn we're lip syncing.
I do love that there's this debate about people wondering if Critical Role is actually scripted or not, and we can verify that our stuff is definitely not scripted. There's no way.
I mean, people say that, but I know Critical Role is not scripted. People
Yeah, I know
cannot
that-
keep
I
on
know.
script live for that long, and
Yeah.
they're not live anymore now.
Mm.
But they were for a long time, and there's no fucking way. People are not that like.
No, they're
Like-
definitely not scripted. They are just really good, like actors at staying on character.
Well, I mean,
No,
that's their jobs before.
Yeah.
They do Critical Role.
We're just a bunch of
I
casual
know.
poobahs who are recording this and putting it up on YouTube for like 2 people,
Plus, I
and none of them are us.
I know a
Plus,
thing
I
or
imagine
two
these-
about acting, okay? And while there are performances that go for about 4 hours, okay, that are scripted, there are not performances that go for 4 hours that are scripted and are different every time you meet and do them.
Yeah.
For hundreds of episodes.
Mhm.
Yes.
Plus, I
It's
imagine
ridiculous.
at least a third of them have improv experience.
Yep.
I mean, all of them at this point.
When the
So,
simplest
honestly-
explanation is literally improv. Like improv is.
Well, I mean, I used to
Well,
watch the.
Look, guys, I get it. They're
Us.
never going to be as good as us, but
Yeah, we
try.
are pretty much the best tabletop role playing group on YouTube at the moment. Like I've seen a lot. None of them really beat our expertise and.
Well, we are good at the game. I've watched enough Critical Role to know that if I put you guys up against them at the same level, you'll probably just murder them. They're like, oh no, my 2 attack rolls missed. What am I going to do? And Richard's over here like, let's see, bonus action, get the bonus. I did 30 damage in each attack, 3 attacks, action search, do it again. Like, cool, they're dead.
I've seen
Especially
very
if-
little critical role.
Listen, I can't do much else, man.
I'm not
Especially if we take-
complaining.
I
Especially
have
if we
a
take
niche
him
and
on,
I fill it well.
especially if we take him on in our home turf of Pathfinder.
Yeah.
I mean, they started in Pathfinder, to be fair.
Yeah,
But
Do Critical Role use? Do they use battle maps? I haven't seen.
Yes, they
Yeah.
do.
Yeah, it's very high quality battle maps now.
Yes, because they got money.
Yeah, they got that.
You're kidding me! Prolific voice actors.
Well, I mean, they got like
Hey, there are
D&D
slaves.
supplement books.
they got a Kickstarter for like $10 million. So
Yeah, and
No,
they have
I'm
two
even
official
just
Dungeons
talking
and Dragons.
about, launch, Critical Role, you start from 0, right?
Mm.
Like, Matt Mercer's already a prolific voice actor, right? Like, don't kid
Yeah.
yourself. And he's starting with, I don't know the original group, but I know they were all voice actors, right?
I mean, it's all still the original group.
All
It-
original
it
group,
is all-
except for one guy.
One guy they kicked out because he was kind of a chode.
Mhm.
So,
Like, I liked him and everything, but he made some people uncomfortable with his comments, like the people actually at the table.
mm,
which
And
one?
He kind of made the game chug.
I can't
Played a
remember his name right now.
Dragon
But,
Soul
he played a Dragonborn. He was bald headed.
Mhm.
He made some comments about one of their characters, and he was kind of making a little bit sexual comments, and you could tell that the woman and her husband, that was also at the table, were kind of uncomfortable with the whole thing.
That was also early on where if a character couldn't make the session, Matt would just role play that character for them, and he usually take the opportunity to take items from them and not give it back, which is a dick move. It's kind of like if we did a session where someone was missing, and then as the game master kills your character when you're not here, there's just like a rule where you don't kill the PC when you're not there. That's
Unless there's a total party kill, then sorry.
yeah,
about
unless
your
the
luck.
entire campaign goes down in flames, then that's
well, at
No.
that point, then even if your individual character survived, we probably
Mhm.
wouldn't be continuing at least the campaign as we know it. We might maybe salvage.
That actually, I know we're in group for this game and stuff right now, and we keep getting sidetracked. But I will say that brings up a good point. When we make characters for APs and Pathfinder, since we want to keep the continuity going, we should all make characters that are incentivized to continue even if they're the last person standing
oh yeah.
for whatever reason.
And
Like-
also, even if we don't know what the plot is going to be for Keep Going, like, yes, and it a little bit.
Yeah,
you know?
yes, and it like some people are just morally good. Like Afixa, if she was the last person alive, she'd probably continue it on.
Mm.
Emmanuel, maybe not. We'd have to kind of feng shui why he would continue going.
But
This
it's
is true.
entirely possible. I mean,
Yeah,
even if
but
it's
there-
just his
we
pride,
could
it's about
we could
I
honestly
mean, it'd
come
really
up
just
with
be
a
an
reason.
NPC walk over and tell him what a great job he's doing. And he'd be like, then I shall continue.
Man, here his dad did not hug him, did he?
No. Because he knew he wasn't his dad, apparently.
I
So,
honestly,
speaking of-
if
So
Emmanuel was the
speaking of
last,
Yeah,
segues,
definitely against
we were in a wormhole.
killing a player while they're not there.
oh, we're in a wormhole.
At that point, just like don't write them out of the narrative. Just it's not that hard.
Yeah.
And if it's just one person, then it's usually you don't have to do that much rebalancing, right?
Yeah.
All right. We'll jump into this. I'm just gonna say with
Take
that
away the boss's mooks. There you go. That's basically.
we are still years away from it, but I'm interested for the opening of Strange Aeons because that's the one where you all start with amnesia.
hmm
That's gonna be a very interesting thing to watch me as the GM see you guys role play that out. Because you just write what your personality is, you don't know what your memories are,
hmm
other than probably your name, I think. So
Oh no, I
that's-
want to not know my name or anything because I'm going to be playing a character from a different campaign that got fucking completely mind wiped.
Yeah, that's fair.
Because that'll be fun.
Yeah, I've skimmed through much of Strange Aeons, and book 1, part 1 is my favorite. It's so strong, and it's kind of sad that that's kind of the high point, but it's still good throughout.
Certain APs have better high points and low points. Like what was it? Before we need to get actually into the game, but
Yes.
my favorite part of when we get to Giant Slayer, I believe, is book 3.
Mhm.
And that's where shit gets kind of wacky, and like not like wacky like slapstick, but like things start really getting interesting. I don't really want to say anything because it'll ruin some of the spoiler.
Okay, do we fall through a portal and end up in 1920s Tsarist Russia?
No, we all know that one's twist, and we all know it's going to be great when we do it.
I think I already told you, Richard, but I played through a decent amount of the first book of that.
Yeah, that's
with a
fine.
different group.
Book 1, like if you know, like if you remember some of the stuff when we get to that, I'll like ask you, and you can tell me, and then you can work with me for that anyway.
Mhm.
But book
not
1
for
is
what?
really just entirely set up for the rest of the campaign. So,
Like, isn't Giant Slayer like Adventure 7 or something?
oh, it's way down the line.
No.
It's like 16th or something. I'm gonna go to the thing now. Yeah, it's exactly 16th out of 24.
There are 6. How many of these? It's 19, right? 19.
There's 24 APs.
First edition
First
APs.
edition.
They're getting deep into the second edition ones now.
Hey, we'll have
Jesus
campaigns for
Christ.
years.
We're going to be dead before we're finished.
Yeah, that's why there are times where I'm like, if there's one we're not excited, I know we want to try them all, but if there's one we're not excited about, we might just skip it because there are some that I know I'm more excited about than others.
We'll
That-
broach that when we get to it.
Yeah. Like obviously, you know, the Rune Lord series, Curse of the Crimson Throne, because those are both highly lauded and for good reason.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, like Pirate One, I've already put work into Carrying Crown, so you shit backing out of that one.
And also, some of them we could also shorten into a shorter campaign too. Like,
absolutely, yeah. There's
we
some.
could condense like 6 books into like a 2-book sized campaign.
Mhm.
I really
Like some of
think
them
you
don't need a
guys-
full 6 books. Okay.
I really think you guys are going to enjoy just how different Curse of the Crimson Throne is from Rise of the Rune Lords.
Yes, that is the benefit to Paizo's adventure path creation. Is they really are all over the place in a good way. I mean, like the two I've read the most in depth are Carrying Crown and Skull and Shackles, and those two adventures could not be more different from each other in how they play out and the themes and everything.
Mhm.
Probably wouldn't surprise you to learn that one's a bit more upbeat than the other.
Curse of the Crimson Throne, nothing but laughs and nothing but
I can see that.
jokes and
Yep, we're gonna get up to that palace, and the Queen is going to be all like, "Yo, that was a sick prank, bro," and then she leaves. It was all
The
a
thing that
joke.
sucks about it, the thing that absolutely sucks about it, is that it's called Curse of the Crimson Throne.
Mhm.
We know it's about the monarchy somehow, but you don't really get into anything about the Queen until like book 2, and the Queen comes into power during book 1, and it's meant the players are meant to be like unsuspecting.
Mhm.
But like, obviously, from talking to you guys aren't very unsuspecting about the Queen.
I mean,
it's obvious.
They put
She's
her
on the cover.
picture on the cover. Yeah.
And that's partially, I think, because I used the cover for the full, like all of them together, the remastered version.
I mean, also
I
like
think
way
the original book had like a fight or something on it.
I mean, like way before we started doing these APs as well, I knew that she was the villain. You know?
Yeah. And I mean, it's pretty obvious, even with everything else considered, just because like Iron Maidens, obviously, I think they're called the Iron Maidens. What are they called?
The Grey Maidens.
The Grey Maidens. You're right.
No, now that they're Iron Maidens in our world.
The Iron Maidens. Well, they wear big suits, and armor.
Yeah. That was a joke when I was designing my character for that campaign. I
They
had
big
Michael.
They wear big suits of steel armor.
There was that was the joke I was having for you when I was designing my character for that one. Is there's a vigilante archetype all about being one of the Grey Maidens? I'm like, yeah, I should probably skip this one, shouldn't I, Michael?
Isn't that one for a campaign? Isn't it like a?
It is post. It's specifically because Ultimate Intrigue came out way after Curse of the Crimson Throne, so canonically it was assuming that you were one of the ex Grey Maidens after whatever happened.
Yeah. I love how everything online is so vague about it too. It's hilarious.
Mm-hmm.
Whatever happened, or like the book on Corvosa, and then the stuff happened.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, guys,
It's just
Dwarf.
a couple of years of shenanigans. No. Let's keep this going and do the first library RP
Yeah.
episode.
First episode of Library RP. We're gonna spoil all Pathfinder APs for you. Let's get into this shit. Yep. Turns out Carfax was the villain the whole time.
Mm.
Rosebud was the name of his sled.
They
He's
were
not
just
really
dead
a
people,
fox.
and he was dead the entire time.
Well, that was until the time shift.
Snape kills Dumbledore.
I don't know why people were surprised
Dark,
about
yeah.
that one.
Guys, Logan dies in Logan.
The spice must flow. Not
Still
really a
don't
spoiler,
fucking
just
understand
true.
it.
I mean, could you even spoil Dune? I mean, like,
You would have to
Like a-
understand it first.
have you read Dune?
Wait, it's a book?
You just saw
It's
the
a-
movie and you didn't understand it?
It's
Yeah,
like
the movie-
6 books and a bunch of fan fiction by the author's son.
Yeah. I've only read the first book, and I thought the first book was pretty good. But like, the whole point of Dune is like it's pretty much all fucking premonition. So it's like, which is a very interesting concept. Like they really go into it in the book. I think. Like I remember. There's such a good point where. Because so much of I don't mean to like keep us from going into the game.
Whenever you are ready.
Hey, I've been trying to get a segue back into the game for a
I'm
while.
just over here
54
filling out
minutes in.
monster stat blocks that I didn't think I had time for. So you do you, my man.
Michael, what's your favorite anime?
Well, let me tell you about my favorite anime code.
With a
Before
song.
Before that, did we ever get you to watch the animated Cowboy Bebop since you liked the live action on Cope?
I have not.
I will say that show is only anime to the extent that it is an animated show made in Japan. It's what I call
There's a lot of
lowercase.
anime like that.
Yeah, that's why I have the distinction. I say there's uppercase A anime and then there's lowercase A anime. Because there's like super anime, and then there's just like, yeah, they're just really nice shows or movies that are animation made in Japan.
You know, I like how we're joking about, oh, we'll just throw this out there for a distraction, and then it totally becomes a distraction.
I'll pull
Meanwhile, our
the plug on that
characters are
lake.
just chilling in the wormhole listening to the Doctor Who theme.
All right, take the bull by the horns.
All right, hold on. Damn it,
Too
you had to
late.
tell me that when I was halfway through what I was doing.
Anyways,
All right,
who's
back to
your
the
guys'
distractions.
favorite doctor? I really love
House.
Peter Capaldi. I'll tell you what, that dude, he had a leather jacket. What a cool guy.
He's trying too hard. Michael, not Pierre Capaldi. Pierre Capaldi.
I'll finish my Dune rant for you, okay? There's just this part of the book that I think is very nice where Paul realizes that, because it's all very internal, so this is his thoughts, and he thinks, even if I were to stop like my campaign or whatever, people would still continue it in my name. There's literally no way out for me. And this is a guy who, can sort of latently see into the future as well. Like, I'm boned. I have to take this to its conclusion. If I got shot in the head right now, it would still happen.
There we go. Okay.
So you're saying there's no free will?
Pretty much. That's how prophecies work. That's why I usually don't like them.
Mm-hmm.
They're
'Cause
usually self-fulfilling or vague enough that anything could fit.
Yeah, exactly. I have a deep personal bias against the chosen one narrative, where it's all like, you were born special, you can't lose. I'm like, oh, cool, nice to know the rest of us are fucking horse shit. There's exceptions, of course, but
I think it wasn't that great of a movie, but I did appreciate that in the Will Smith movie where he was a superhero.
Mhm.
And he was
the
whole chosen one. But he was like, well, if I'm a fucking superhero who can't die, I'm just going to not give a shit and drink all the time and be lazy. And
anyway, I'm ready to go. Do we want to do a recap for last time?
Yeah, sure.
Killed a fish, ran away from a fish, rescued our prince/unwilling ruler, and then got sucked into a wormhole.
Okay.
Close. Group of jellyfish cast the teleportation spell. And a horrible Oshi shadow monster thing was chasing you.
now we're on a jelly ride.
All right, get me out of here. You just called it a jelly ride.
Yeah.
Let me see your jelly roll.
Oh, God. We are not going to get anything done tonight.
We're waiting on you, Gumbo. Let's go.
I'm composing myself. Give me a second here. You guys have to do one character. I have to do the world. All right.
On the next episode of Library RP, Gumbo does Dallas.
Already done the world.
Consensually, of course. So.
With his spores.
Don't remind me of that, Go. You made that super lighthearted superhero fight so much worse. You know, when you think about it, pollen is just plant semen, and according to the book, I can stun them with a strong physical reaction. So I choose pleasure. I'm like, oh my god.
I refer you all to my image I put in Skype.
I just want the audience at home to know. I want the audience at home to know that I was not a part of that session. I had nothing to do with that. And disavow everything that happened in that first session when I wasn't present.
That was purely just Cope.
It was brilliant.
Everyone else was fully leaning into
Jolly Green
camping.
rapist over there.
He was the Jolly Green giant. Just turned into a Jolly Green, just rapist at a distance.
My guy with golf-themed superpowers. Not even really golf-themed, just golf.
We had
Yep.
Super Dad.
Family Man, for sure.
And wasn't my character just someone who could just punch things really good? Oh no, he was King
He was
Pimp.
super fast.
You
Yeah,
you
so-
were a pimp that was given powers by the Egyptian goddess of fertility.
Yep. I remember that now.
These ridiculous characters. People.
Well, it was great because then the next
Nothing like Baron von Thunderfuck or whatever I made.
yeah, Baron von Thunderstruck, the British resisted fire on Nazi Earth. That one was fun. You guys, Richard punched the ground so hard it knocked out 25 Nazi soldiers in one go, and then you threw a tank through a wall.
It was. Are we gonna finish that? I know we.
Someday.
Someday
We
we're
have so
gonna
much
finish
shit
it.
on our list.
The list
I need
of
to-
one-shots is growing. Like, if we didn't have lives, we should be doing 2 sessions a week.
Hey, I've always
Yeah.
petitioned, like, if you ever guys want to do one, like, not every week, obviously, but if we ever have free time and we want to pick up another one. I have nothing but time.
Yeah, it would just depend. I want to be able to do consistently 2 sessions a week.
Yeah, I wouldn't be able to do it consistently, but occasionally.
All right, so one moment you guys were in a underwater kelp forest. The next, with a horrible shadowy monster closing in behind you. Then a small school of jellyfish floated out, and a teleportation spell was cast. And the next thing you know, you're disappointed to find you are still underwater. The difference is now is you are in a distinctly different place. We're standing in a large stone gazebo-like structure surrounded by these floating bluish jellyfish. From this stone gazebo, there is a totally unnecessary walkway because, once again, you're underwater, heading towards a stone gazebo. Okay, I see you. Heading towards a kind of like Greco-Roman style structure that looks upside down, protruding from a large stone surface adhered to like the ceiling of where you are. And you all have a moment to catch your breath as these jellyfish swim away. And in the waters around you outside the gazebo. Okay, I feel like everyone's getting way more focused on the fact that I said the word gazebo.
It's just an old D&D meme. Anyway, yes, the
Thought the
water's
sillies were
outside.
done.
The sillies are never done.
You know, I joked about it before, about how we are going to be doing this for a half hour. Well, or an hour and a half. but-
well, we're
We got the sillies tonight. It's fine.
a half hour into the recording already.
Do I need to recap anything I just said?
Maybe.
No, we've all got it.
Stone walkway.
Boss fight against the gazebo.
Another building over
Still
there.
on the gazebo.
Don't make me
Christ.
turn this bus around, guy. I will just shit can this now, pull you into a one shot where I get to murder you a bunch of times to work out some stuff.
I'm trying to be on my best behavior, I'll have you know.
Nope, I know. I see you. But yes, you're in a stone gazebo structure where there is a suspended walkway all underwater going to a sort of many-pillared Greco-Roman style temple. Seems to be adhered to the ceiling of this cavern all underwater. So is it a cavern if it's filled with water?
Yeah.
Hmm.
Underwater
Okay.
caves are still caves.
Okay. And as you catch your non-existent breath from what happened, the few jellyfish that had surrounded you and cast the spell drift away outside of the gazebo, where you see they join a colossal swarm of hundreds upon hundreds of jellyfish strong. And they're like the larger jellyfish. You can look up images. I always like watching those. And they're all giving off a faint blue glow, like the deep sea kind. Ivy finally breaks the silence and says, Oh, good. Managed to get out of there then.
Hey,
Not gonna.
he's the friend you were working with?
Yeah, the monks live in the temple over there. Come on, I'll try to introduce you the best I can. She starts swimming away, as you all have to deal with being underwater a little while longer. As you guys presumably swim to follow her, she's going across the walkway, and you look over the edge of the walkway, and you are surprised that by looking down, you see the curved surface of the water below you. And then on the other side of that, there seems to be an expanse of darkness before there is another surface of water. As you realize that this temple is not on the ocean floor, but is actually held in a giant bubble of water adhered to the surface of a cavern. Think like a large dewdrop on the underside of a leaf.
In a snow globe.
Yeah, essentially. There's no apparent glass or structure. It is just there.
Yeah, that's one way to keep aquatic enemies out. Air gap.
As you drift closer to the temple, you start seeing the aforementioned merfolk monks. They're not they're not what you would imagine when you think of merfolk. They are long-limbed, long-fingered, with pale, almost papery white skin. Clearly they have grown accustomed to their lightless domain. Whatever their eyes are like, you can't tell, because each and every one of them is wearing a fabric blindfold over their eyes as they swim about. Many you see sort of taking almost shark-like swim patterns that you might theorize are akin to meditation, because it's hard to sit down when you've got a fish tail. As you near the main structure, there are two monks on either side of this large pillared archway, who, despite not having any eyes, apparently sense you're coming, and do that gesture where they put their two fists together and they give a bow at the waist as you guys are approaching.
How did they know we were here?
Ivy speaks up as you go past. She goes, "Yes, that's a thing they can do. All the monks here have taken a vow of silence and sightlessness, so they only communicate via telepathy and mind sense. Apparently, it's a sign of training that you're able to initiate telepathic communication. No lie, a good chunk of the 3 months I was separated from you guys was me just learning how to talk to these people. It was very annoying.
This feels like communication with extra steps, but I'm here for it. We're saved.
I thought it was that communication.
Well, there was one other person here I could talk to.
Well,
That would be the leader of this temple, the Doyen.
wait, so the leader's allowed to talk to people, but no one else is? That seems odd.
It's good to be king.
You all hear a kind of like deep, echoey voice all of a sudden say, "It's more about them training to enhanced skills. They're
Hey,
allowed to
are
train."
we still hearing all this in our head?
No, that was an out loud voice.
Okay.
And Ivy was just talking normally.
Okay. I just gonna. We were doing it for so long in this
Yes.
game that I just wanted to make sure.
Fair. Yeah. I mean, unless Miku speaks, because once again, it doesn't work too well for him in here.
One day we will invent him a mouth.
Mm-hmm. But yes, you do hear a voice say that out loud. And Ivy goes, everyone would, that would be the Doyen. You look around, there's just no one there. Just jellyfish floating by.
Is she a jellyfish?
The voice says again, actually, I am all the jellyfish. And as you hear it talking, as the words come out, some of the jellyfish light up in time with the words.
So wait, are we just trading hive minds? I mean, granted, I still appreciate this hive mind a lot better than others. No offense, hive mind or whatever you are. But this seems like it's just a straight up 1-for-1 trade here.
The Doyen continues speaking. I don't think so. I mean, I only am just the jellyfish. I mean, when you think about it, your brain is in fact a collection of small particles held together into what you imagine is a shape. Your mind is just as much a hive mind as mine. You're just standing in my brain.
I'm going to think really hard about being a bunch of jellyfish. Nope, not happening.
Pretty sure I had to do this with the druid in the river.
We all know that the brain.
We don't want to hear about you having your weird party night with the druid in the river. Anyway, hi jellyfish. I'm Fergus. I'm one of the people who was saved.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, I don't have a problem with hive minds in concept. Just ones that turn me into a underwater breathing person and enslave my family.
Yes, you are Fergus, Taskell, Milgram, Freya, Iago, and Miku, and this must be the presumed dead Thrum. Freya has told me a lot about you. Well, not really so much tell. Then Freya says, he read my mind, and in the Doyen says, yes, I read her mind.
Wait, Freya or Ivy?
Ivy, sorry.
Okay.
I was looking at nameplates, I got confused.
Okay, I'm just making sure. I'm like, wait a minute, are we about to have the fuck moment?
Yeah, no.
Yeah, I thought that was going to be a Freya under mind control situation.
Nope, sorry, that was a mistake. Yeah, it was Ivy. Like, yes, I read her mind. I had to make sure that the Abelisks were not sending an agent into our midst.
Yeah, those things, no bueno.
They're unfortunate.
Are you reading our minds right now?
To an extent.
I mean, is this any news to you, Thrum? Since we've been under this, Earth, we've been having our minds invaded since day one. I mean, well, not day one, but since we got into the fungal jungle. No offense, Miku, you're great, but your spores get into our head every time you speak to us. So this shouldn't be any news to us at this point.
I need to make a lead helmet.
Aluminum foil.
That's a question.
Aluminum foil's not going to get shit.
Does Miku feel weird having a different type of mental mind communication with him going on?
Yeah, a bit.
Like, I would actually broach that to him, like, how you feeling? This seems a little weird for you, because you're used to one type of mental communication.
I will admit, I am feeling beyond my depth at the moment.
Me too, buddy, me too.
Beyond my depth. That's a good one.
The jellyfish speak again. Well, I am sure after your 3-month expedition to the underside of the sea that you are quite tired. take time, recover your wounds. I'll be here if you have any questions. He literally just stops talking, and all the jellyfish are still there. So he's literally just right there around you at all times.
I have a question. How are we all breathing underwater?
Ah, that is a good question. The aboliths have cursed you. If you were to leave this bubble and go into air, you would immediately start suffocating.
Fun.
Except for Ivy, who I have given a magical air bubble to. Which reminds me, I should probably recast that. That spell was going to wear off within 24 hours. And Ivy goes, it was?
Oh, shit.
Talk about good timing.
I feel like you should have said that up front. Could have gotten Ivy into a bad situation.
I suppose it just slipped my mind.
Minds. Just with your minds. It's so many. Singular and plural.
I'm tired of these questions. Is there a place we can rest?
Anyways, you know how to uncurse us before we rest?
No. I can, but then you'll begin drowning.
Well, I mean, we can figure out that.
I mean, if you'd like me to just uncurse you right now, and then you can deal with lack of air, then yeah, I could do that.
I mean, for now, I'd rather not drown. I've top 5 ways to die, not up there.
We've all been underwater for 3 months. What's one more night?
Jiggles probably fucking sold our ship or something. It's been 3 months.
I am curious what your other top 5 ways to die are, but that's a conversation for another time.
Number 1, dying of old age, surrounded by people I care about that are not my family.
Interesting.
Wait, what was that last portion?
Huh? Oh, don't worry about it.
Old age. Huh. Anyway, Ivy should be able to show you.
I should be clear. Technically, you don't die of old age. You just actually, I don't know how much to do with
You see, when I explained about that last part, this is why.
Well, old age is just a term we use when someone dies of something, family when they're old, Fergus. So you'll probably die.
Number 2 is a fiery explosion right now.
Heart attack or kidney failure, or I don't know. More likely, you'll probably just get an axe to the skull at some point.
I start swimming away into the other side of this bubble.
Yeah. Ivy will lead you to the quarters as
Come
the
on,
doyen.
it wouldn't even be the first time.
The doyen welcomes you to the Temple of the Binding Current.
Tired of these weird, fishy cults. Want out of it. I don't want anything to do with any fish people. I don't want anything to do with any water-faring metal men. I don't want anything to do with any of them. I want out of here. I don't want any blobs. I want to get out.
You know what? Just for that, we're going to get to that fire dragon, and he's going to have a fire dragon cult surrounding him.
That's how a girl makes a scene.
He's going to challenge you to a children's card game.
I don't have a motorcycle handy to deal with that.
Just like a 60-foot long dragon on a human-sized motorcycle.
I read something, and it was like, because I've never seen Yu-Gi-Oh, but it was like, apparently Kaiba says he never wins a match against Yugi, like not even once.
Mm-hmm.
Nope.
Like they don't even give him the one.
No, the show's a little ridiculous in terms of like everything.
Yep.
It was already ridiculous to start with. The premise is an ancient Egyptian pharaoh is sealed within a puzzle that a child solves before anyone else could, and it awakens inside of his own mind, and they play a children's card game to send people to hell.
I just
Uh,
think
the
it's
creator-
very funny.
how
It's
would he
very-
win?
The
It
creator
is
of
very-
Yu-Gi-Oh! Actually passed away a month or two ago.
Yeah.
Oh damn!
Yeah,
It is
he
very-
he died saving someone from drowning.
Oh, really?
Holy
Jesus.
fuck.
Yeah,
That's weird as fuck. I did not hear about
lit
that
out
part.
like badass.
God damn! Talk about heart of the cards.
That's definitely number 3.
You guys can full rest and reattune to whatever items you would wish now.
I'm going to. I'm not going to attune to the Misty Marrow flute since I'm also going to attune to the Scale Bane instead.
Mhm.
Feel like it's going to be necessary when we come to fight Dragon.
Yeah, dragon level. Cool.
But I also have my Stab Shroom, which is not an attuned item. So
Did we ever find my gear? I'm trying to recall.
Yes, they found everyone's gear.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Yeah,
that was
yeah.
that.
We're all geared back up. I think.
Yep. I forgot that was at Jiggless's.
You can reset your hit points and everything like that.
Just to be clear, that weird fish demon thing. That's not. We didn't deal with that. That's probably still out there, right? In
Presumably.
character. Everyone else. like we're probably gonna have to deal with that at some point, right?
just
like we
chalk
should
it
do-
on the old to-do list.
We should get a game plan down on what we're gonna do.
Are we going to do it now, or are we going to come back to it?
Well, I figure probably not gonna have much of a choice of when we deal with it,
Mhm.
considering how abruptly it appeared last time. Right? Didn't it just show up suddenly down the?
Yeah, it full on passed through walls.
Wait, this is the weird like shadow creature that was like hovering above the.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And it's definitely
Like, did it seem to be made of shadows, or was it actually a creature?
It looks like it was made of shadows.
Does anyone have the ability to make really, really bright lights? Then maybe.
I mean, I could build you a big bright light bulb. You won't.
I feel like we need something stronger than a light bulb.
I call it the iridescent torch. I mean, we've encountered technology that's like light bulbs. Those those gnomes, right? That was artificially lit.
Mhm.
Yep.
Those submarines.
The gem.
I think I'm trying to allude to like, does anyone have like the daylight spell or something? Maybe if it's made of shadow, something that bright would
Yeah, I
cause
don't-
it to dissipate.
Which had any light in my.
I know that at least 2 people in this party would have access to spells that could do that. Because we have a paladin now.
Fergus was at the meeting. I know at least 2 of you. Have access.
I know priestly shit sometimes.
I don't think light is among my abilities.
No, out of character stuff. I was thinking of like the daylight spell, which is like a
Yeah.
3rd level spell, I think.
Yeah. Well, let me see.
Or is it a 2nd level spell? I can't remember.
I think it's a third.
Do I hear a 4?
Let's see. Daylight, third level, evocation spell, clerics, druids, paladin, rangers, and sorcerers.
Can I do a knowledge religion to see if I've ever heard of something like that?
We didn't level up last time, did we?
No, you did not.
Okay. Just
You
making
can
sure.
do a religion or a arcane.
Ooh, I think they're the same. Let me check. They are the same, so I will do religion.
Natural 20 has the day. That thing judging by all the context facts of its appearance and its seemingly morphic size, was not actually a thing. It was a version of the spell Phantasmal Killer that is somehow affecting all of you at once with an extreme range. So it's essentially an illusion. If it reaches you, if it reaches you, it's going to start killing you.
Yeah, I should have let you finish. People watching this back probably don't know what Phantasmal Killer is, but everyone in this party, when you say Phantasmal Killer, it's like, oh shit.
Mm-hmm.
That's like a bad spell to get put on.
I've never actually seen it succeed in like actual play though.
Well, yeah, it is. You do die if it works.
Yeah.
Yeah, so don't get anywhere near that thing. It will absolutely kill you on contact, and you can't fight it, right? So
Yeah, it's an illusion.
I don't think it just outright kills you immediately in this.
No,
fight,
it just continues to do damage, and
like a lot of damage. I'm pretty sure.
The only way to get rid of it is to get the spellcaster who's concentrating on it, which you definitely can't do.
all right. Well, at least I think we're safe as long as the spellcaster doesn't know where we are.
Mm.
And we're probably. How long does that spell last? Does anyone know? I would ask the party, in character.
Yeah.
What, you think I can cast spells?
I don't know if I would know that from the roll.
From the natural 20, I would say, because your Arcana is the same, normally it only lasts till up to a minute, but it definitely lasted longer than that already. So you're dealing with a modified version created by the Aboleth's potent psionic abilities.
And remember, it was like a giant ringing bell summoned it.
Mm-hmm.
Would it be
So it's probably an item.
good assumption that a version of Phantasmal Killer that's that big and targets that many people probably wouldn't have casting time or a duration of more than a couple of hours, right? That's probably not likely.
I mean, if it was coming from a person, if it was coming from a ritual or a powerful magical item, all bets are off.
Got it. So if it came from a powerful magic, so in this world, I guess I'm just clearing up. If it came from a powerful magical artifact, all bets are off. This could be like just super OP.
Yeah, if it was one person casting that would be insane. That would be just truly insane amount of magical power to maintain an illusion across impossible distance that are capable of psychically ravaging people like that. That's essentially just casting the wish spell and wishing for someone dead at that point.
Then I would relay that. It's basically, it is probably a magical artifact if it doesn't have if it has a spell duration of longer than, I mean, I would guess, just as a player, I would relay to the rest of the party would be probably like an hour. Yeah, that would be, I mean, just to me, that seems like it would be ridiculous to have that persist that long. So I would guess that it's from a magical artifact. I guess I would tell that from the rest of the party, or some sort of ritual.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe it has something to do siphoning the power from the people they bring down here. I'm really not sure. That seems like maybe something that's likely.
You still have that Drow sorceress with you, by the way.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That you still have tied up.
No, we untied her. Remember, we gave her the option. Yeah, we gave her the option of working with us, or just being left to her own devices, try to escape on her own.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
And she begrudgingly agreed, and I told them to untie her.
Yeah, well, she's still here, and after a long rest, she's getting all of her magic back.
So I guess let's consult. Do we know her name?
You never asked.
Yeah.
Let's consult her. See if she knows anything we don't about this.
Thrum, maybe you stick on the other side of the building.
I'm going to sleep.
By that, I mean, Fergus, you ask those questions.
So yeah, I'll approach her.
Yeah, she's very clearly looking for an exit.
Um,
Trying to find a way to slip away.
if you're trying to escape, I'm not going to stop you. Though you might need to figure out how to remove the curse that's placed upon you before you depart. You will quite literally die before you can breach the surface.
Yes, I heard the jellyfish.
Sorry about the rush of escaping. I didn't introduce myself. My name is Fergus. May I have your name?
I am Nitra Valkazar of House Valkazar.
That doesn't ring a bell to any of the people we fought in the past, right?
Nope.
Okay. Well, it is lovely to meet you. I haven't had many interactions with Drow. The only one I've had with is from the house of... sorry, I need to remember the name of the person. House Sevastia, I believe is what she said her name was.
Yeah, that was her last name.
I'm purposely not saying her first name.
Yeah. Yeah, put that name in the chat now.
Was it Hestia?
It was Hestia was the one that you guys
The one we keep running into?
Yeah, the Baroness.
The Baroness was Satha, right?
Yeah, Satha. But they had the same last name because they were cousins.
Yep. But I would mention the last name and just purposely omit the first name.
Ah, how fitting. Trash associates with trash.
I imagine you don't get along with that family then.
What do you want, dwarf? I highly doubt it's high politics gossip that you're interested in.
I was just hoping that you might know of anything else that we might not about the whole situation with the thing we just escaped from, and to relay that we offer no, well, I don't say no animosity because I kind of go point a thumb over at Thrum. Yeah, old hatred runs deep. I'm sure you understand. And I keep my word. Now that we're free, once you can figure out how to remove the curse, you're free to leave, and we will not have any issues.
Oh, merciful. I'm sure you feel quite good about yourself.
Oh no, I hate myself and everything about the situation.
But good, you have some sense.
Yeah. But I would hope that, when it comes to time for it, that you give us the same gratitude if you somehow come upon some other drow that you also will not pursue us actively until, our paths are departed from each other.
I want to make one thing very clear, dwarf, as she leans in. No one, no lesser race such as yours, is allowed to see me in the state of weakness in which you found me. When I get out of here, I will come back with my house's soldiers, and I will find you, and I will flay you and your family.
You're pleasant.
I have been told.
No good deed.
That was Freya's hands would have gotten thrown. That's all I'm saying.
Tell you what, little Fergus, perhaps if you're very nice and you're very helpful, instead of flaying you, I'll just flay your family, and then you can go work in my family's slave mines. That way you'll get to live out your miserable few years being of use to something.
You almost had me until you said slave mines. But
That's good.
I stand by my word. I will not do anything to you, but you're a pleasant person. I could see why the dark depths of this terrible place that is the Underdark suits you very well. And I will give a bow and depart.
Mm-hmm.
All right, Fergie, what'd she say?
She pretty much wants to kill all of us because we saw her with her hair messed up.
Does the surname or does the name House Vakazar would that be like something like Like Nolgrim, I would consult Nolgrim on this.
Yeah,
actually. I would say,
Nolgrim, is that anywhere in your book of
do we
hatred?
have grudges against those fucks? I mean, I'm sure we have some sort of, but are they like a big deal? Nolgrim.
Let me see.
I know
I
there's
feel like you're the
nothing.
guy that would know this.
There's nothing in your handout. You can give me a history if you just know from studying history of Dammerhall.
Trying to remember what sort of no special bonuses, I imagine.
Just flat history.
15.
Nothing super in depth. You just remember the name House Vakazar being offhandedly mentioned as a group within the Drow Society here that is the most famous for kidnapping and enslaving people.
Mm. Well, we helped rescue a peach, didn't we?
Yeah, there's definitely an irony that you saved that person from slavery. There's some karma that you might have undone.
Yep.
Send her back.
Return to sender.
Yeah, just tie her up, have the jellyfish teleport her back with a note that says, "Sorry, we didn't know, take it back."
Failed to consider the dramatic irony.
And we didn't know what we were getting into, and we needed all the help we could get to get out. I don't regret the decision, and I'm not going to go back on my word that we're not going to harm her if she, assisted us in escaping, which she didn't help really much, but we escaped. But as soon as we get this curse removed and we're out of the water, I'm not looking if you guys need to deal with something.
I mean, to be honest, like, I'm not gonna go after, but like, when you say that she comes back with Drows, Frey would probably like laugh a little bit and go like, "You mean like the ones that we fucking demolished all the way here?"
Let's just not stand in a straight line this time, fellas.
I figured the Drow population was so large.
Well, I mean, we already established the ones we've dealt with so far are mostly the trash ones. They were sent there because they didn't really want them in their society.
Yep, and then a group of
but
merchants that were more skilled.
Yeah.
Freya is a little fantasy racist, so.
Yeah, that's right.
No, you see, 5e is changing to species. You can't be racist if it's a different species.
Oh, yes, you're so right.
Also, now, if a dwarf eats an elf, it's not cannibalism.
No, it's okay.
I joke.
Well, Kanye Thrum over here doesn't like him.
He would wear a big shirt like Kanye.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I would go and just check with Iago, Ivy, and Miku. Make sure that they're all good. And question is, can Miku use his spores underwater, or are we just using Ivy to help communicate with him?
She has to kind of be his interpreter with her linked up telepathy. He could not use his spores underwater. The physics just don't work.
Yeah, I didn't think so.
I mean, I guess if you were really determined to, you could swim up to his mushroom cap head and like fully put your mouth on it, and then
Oh my god!
That's a penis joke if I've ever heard one.
Yeah, there's a.
If we ever get a fan that does fan art, there you go.
Oh.
That would be the closest thing to a sexual act that ever does.
I'm gonna be on repeat forever now, Gombo.
But otherwise, I don't have anything I would do other than just chilling and resting up. At this point, we're kind of reliant on the hive mind here to help us remove this curse on us and hopefully have a way for us to not drown at the same time.
During the long rest, Nolgrim, you get attuned to the frost brand that you took from Jiggly's place. Yep.
Mm-hmm.
And did you also have that locket that was lightly magical as well that we just didn't get into because we were at the end of the session?
Do not recall. Let's see.
I know that you said we were gonna either identify it or someone was gonna check it out, but we never did to do anything to it.
Yeah, it's entirely up to you.
And
It was
if
a
we had the
really
time.
Your detect magic had a very faint aura on it, so whatever it is, it's not potent.
Did we have time to? I mean, I imagine we had time to.
Over the course of this long rest, you absolutely
Yeah.
can. That's what I'm asking about.
We have like 8 to 10 hours to kill while we're
Yeah,
doing this. Reattuning
not-
items, sleeping.
Does
not gonna-
Tesco have? Because I don't have.
Tasco and Freya both have identify.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a domain spell for me.
And you can ritual cast it. So.
Yeah, it doesn't even cost a spell slot when you ritual, I believe.
Exactly. It has the cantrip, not minor image. What is that illusion cantrip when you? I'm trying to remember.
A minor image?
Was it
Minor
minor
illusion?
illusion?
Now I'm just looking it up real quick.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember. We're all thinking of the same thing. Yeah, minor illusion. That's what it is.
Yeah, it is minor illusion.
The cantrip. It has the cantrip minor illusion in it, fixed on one image. You don't know what that one image is going to be unless you open the locket.
We're about to get some juicy secrets spilled. We open it up. It's Thrum's mom.
Obi-Wan Kenobi, you are our only hope.
But yeah, that's all there is to it after an identify.
Thrum's mom would be an elderly fucking dwarf.
That would be Fergus's grandmother.
Oh shit, self-burn.
Ooh, back at you, man. Self-burn. Definitely Princess Leia.
Well, no, go open it up. Pop the top.
Wub-a-dub-dub.
Do you do it, Nogrim?
Yeah.
You open it up, and the illusion takes form, hazy in the water. You see Jigless, but a different Jigless than you saw. He's wearing that mithril seahorse-style breastplate, the frostbrand sword sheathed at his side, his fins slicked back, and he's in a crisp military uniform. He's standing next to a female Triton who you do not know, arm around her shoulder, and she is clutching a bundle that is a young baby Triton, and it's just that still image.
Wow.
So he killed his family.
Some sad stuff.
It's worth pointing out that that chest was tied shut.
Yep.
It hadn't been opened in a long time.
He didn't use any of that stuff anymore after they died. Probably the aboleths killed him.
It's okay. He's dead.
Or they might be down there, like,
Or they,
you know,
yeah, or he just
farming.
might not remember them.
Yeah.
As Ivy explained, the aboleths modify memories. That's how they got Taskell to be one of their guards. The Jigless and Throne. The Jigless that you know, the one that you fought, the one that killed, might be a completely different person than the one that existed before he came to the Sunless Sea.
His daughter and his wife are probably down there in the mines. And when we pull the plug, we're going to kill them all. Trip.
Yeah, so that's all there is to it. But that does confirm that the Frostbrand sword was Jigless's old sword.
Is there a handout for the Frostbrand?
Yeah, I
There
think
should
it's
be.
already
I
done
gave
there.
it to you.
Yeah, it's Frostbrand in Act 3 of the
Okay.
magic items.
There's. All right.
Yeah, +1 magic sword, resistance to fire damage, and adds 1d6 cold.
Yeah, I have a feeling that resistance to fire damage is going to come up here pretty soon.
And I modified the description from the DMG to reflect its origins.
And while we're taking a short rest, I'll go ahead and use this opportunity to merge Frostbrand with my grudge weapon.
Mhm. Yeah, you make it your new grudge weapon. Yep. So you're long resting. Get all the way charged up. After you guys recover some of these silent monks come along and they deliver you some food that is literally just seaweed wraps. Nutritious, but not terribly satisfying. Kind of like a seaweed flatbread. But hey, Tasco doesn't need to spend magic to make you food.
Could have had some sushi at least.
How are they going to make their rice, Thrum?
No, the real sushi, not those rolls, rice on it. No,
So you just want raw fish then?
Yes, absolutely. Meat. I don't know when the last time I ate, but I definitely feel like I haven't eaten in 3 months.
I do love the idea behind that. I don't know when I last ate. No, literally, I don't know when I last ate.
Last time I remember eating was 3 months and 1 day ago.
Could be anywhere from probably 48 hours to like.
Oh yeah, Freya, you
Some
can also
days.
repaired your suit back up to full hull integrity if you'd like.
Yeah, I'm gonna do that.
What's the character's name? Does Fergus still give us inspiration in the mornings?
I give you hit points. Let me double check what it is because I believe it's my level, my total overall character level plus my charisma, which would be 13. Let me see. Sorry, I'm looking through my stuff. I know I have it in here somewhere. Yeah, 10 minutes anytime during a short or long rest. You all gain temporary hit points equal to 13. So that's on top of your normal hit points, and they go away. They get taken away before your normal hit points. Six people.
5e,
So.
5e temporary hit points do not stack from two different
Correct.
locations.
You
You
take
always
whatever's
go
the higher one.
Mm.
But still, 13 extra hit points every time we take any kind of rest is quite a substantial boost.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. I'm just happy to have some hit die back. I feel like for the last 4 sessions, I haven't been able to use any of my hit die to heal because y'all beat the hell out of Thrum when he tried to 1v all of you.
Really, I haven't spent any.
There you go.
To be fair, I was also the last one.
Well, I was trying to go after the NPCs instead of my teammates.
You were trying to TPK.
Mm-hmm. As you guys, after your rest, are gathering up, Ignis Hollowstone, who's still
she's
with
there
you.
too.
Yep. Kind of approaches the group. Goes, if I might have a moment of all your time for just a second. I feel I should thank you lot for scratch at the back of her head, getting me out of down there. I know you said that it's just because you needed hands for the ship, but gestures around. No ship. Here we are.
I mean, if it hadn't been for us, we probably wouldn't have gotten you in that mess. So it is partially our fault too.
Be that as it may, there's not a lot of people down here in the Underdark, let alone the Sunless Sea, who would go through that much effort to save someone. So I don't have a lot of honor as a scallywag or as a Drugar, but here goes. And she sinks down to one knee, bows her head, and goes, on my fragile, though it may be, honor as a stoneborn Darugar of the deep realms, in a form of gratitude, I swear myself to thine quest until it has reached completion. if you accept my service as gratitude.
Throw him face palms.
We hear a big rock smack another rock.
Yeah, literally, slowly, because it's underwater.
Fine. I think she's definitely proved her worth. And I prefer this sort of reaction over. He would kind of nod in the direction of the drow.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you know what? Don't sell yourself short. As far as the Underdark has been concerned so far, you're pretty good people. So, if you want to do this as a way to, pay back that we saved you, I'm not going to stop you. We appreciate that any help we can get. Which, by the way, we're probably going to have to fight a dragon soon, so look forward to that.
Yeah, I remember that. You were telling me about that. That's how we were looking for that whirlpool.
Yeah.
Jiggles betrayed us.
That's a good question. Hey, jellyfish. I just kind of look up.
Yeah, what's up?
There's just one there.
So, I know you're in the process of doing other stuff, and we appreciate it. And once you can actually figure out the curse thing and everything else.
Oh, I could do that at any time.
Well, I mean, we also need to figure out a way to actually get to the surface and figure our things out too. We're trying to get to a cave that has a red dragon in it. Do you, perchance, know easy way to get there?
Maladraxus, you're meaning the red dragon that lives down here.
Yes. We have to go kill him and take some stuff from him.
Oh. No, I don't know a way to his lair. He makes his lair in the boiling sea. Boiling water and me don't tend to mix.
That's fair.
I've ran into him a couple of times.
Is he as pleasant as the mind-controlling fish?
He's a different kind. He's a deeply vain creature, but exceedingly clever and very, very slow to anger.
So
that's a dangerous combination.
You heard it, guys. We're gonna need to flatter the dragon until he dies.
Also, I'm just gonna give you guys a little handout, Reneth. That is Ignis's character sheet. Congratulations, got yourself a level 7 sorcerer, buddy.
Ignis unlocked.
Mm-hmm.
You can now play as Ignis in free play mode.
How many stars is she? The tough feat is where you get an extra hit point per level, right?
Yes.
Yes.
Bedoyan says, I don't know where his lair is, but I do remember a long time ago he used to have a rival, another dragon, a blue one. Didn't live in the Underdark, it lived on the surface, but they still fought quite regularly.
Fergus is like, that means there's a way out.
Also, he can't be that great if he's hiding down here from a blue dragon.
Well, if I remember correctly, the blue dragon's dead now.
Well, scratch that. So I feel like I'm talking to a weird jellyfish creature, and granted, I am.
Yes, you are.
You're part of the sea. You know what boats are, correct? I'm operating on low context here. You're a fish person. I'm not.
More like a collection of invertebrates, but yes.
Anyway, in order for us to leave your domain and leave you in peace and everything, and escape from the hellhole that is underwater, we need some kind of transportation, and our boat was sank. Do you have any options of where we might be able to obtain something that we could sail on, or survive on, or just anywhere we could go? We're trying to get to the dragon, but first we kind of need to get out of the water.
Yes. I have a a ship that was liberated for some drow travelers going through this area I've been tinkering with as a hobby. You're welcome to it if you'd like. Additionally, if you need to get into contact with anyone, I can cast the sending or the dream spell on your behalf. It would be no bother at all.
I actually may take you up on that before we leave. Wait, can you send to people you've never met?
No, you can dream spell to them. I'm just
Yeah.
double checking.
I mean, I guess if they have an ability to read our minds, we could have them see a vision of what we're trying to send
Send
to.
a short message of 25 words or less to a creature with which you are familiar.
So if they're at least familiar enough to if they can read our minds and we can think of the person.
If you just let them beyond a little surface thoughts, he can absolutely put it together for you.
Mm-hmm.
I know dream spell. You can just say a name and you can fire that thing out into the void.
I imagine the drow's keeping her distance from us, right?
She's definitely hearing this.
Yeah.
Well,
I'll hit you up for some sending later if you don't mind. I'd appreciate it.
It's Death Note rules. You got to say their name and think of their face.
Jellyfish, what area are we in of the Sunless Sea?
I hear that some of the pirates refer to this area as the realm of the merfolk. Here, if you just give a moment, I'll just put some of the directions into your head. And this is going to be my explanation for how I'm going to reveal this hex on the map. So give me a second.
Just so you know, we're still on the.
Yeah, I know. I haven't moved you over. I'm just
okay. I was making sure.
Yep. All good. There you guys are. I update to your current location.
Oh, hey, we weren't that far away.
Yeah. Literally, if Jiggles had taken you down a slightly different path where you cut through here, that ambush probably would have never happened. Because they would have been like, oh yeah, this guy's got aboleth shit all over him. Let's just kick the shit out of him for you guys.
Just all those aboleth juices. Ugh.
So why does it look like we're in a water bubble? Are we on the roof of the cavern?
Yes, I am using my abilities to suspend water around the temple. It's a handy way to make sure the aboleths and their minions cannot gain easy access. I can levitate you down at any time you want. Though some of the monks do get some enjoyment out of just falling straight down into the water.
So we could just drop down from here and start breathing normal air again until we hit the water below.
Correct.
I don't float.
We're also cursed, so they said they're going to remove it anytime.
Yep.
But we probably should figure out a way to get out of said water. The boat you've been tinkering on,
basically
how big is it?
We could fall into the water, but we'd have to hold our breath.
Yeah, that's literally what it is.
Like coming out of a water slide.
Mm-hmm. 60 feet long, 15 feet wide.
I'd look over this. Is that something that the group of us could perceivably move around with? Or are we going to need more people for something like that?
I mean, if it's one of the ships from Dimport, we might need more people. But if the floating light blobs are telling the truth and it's a drow ship, it's probably motivated by magic instead.
Oh, that's definitely more useful. You said you liberated it from drow. Are you at odds with the drow?
I like to think of myself as at odds with no one, but lots of people seem to take umbrage with me.
I kind of give a side eye to the drow that's with us.
Double sting.
Jellyfish are chill, man.
I mean, they're just floating by.
Mm-hmm. You're welcome to stay here for as long as you like while you decide what you wish to do next. I have already fortified the entire temple with proof against scrying and other divination magics. Your presence is quite unknown here.
That's good to know.
Are you able to read that drow girl's mind and see what kind of bitch she is?
I don't think we really need mind reading to determine that.
Determine cuntiness.
High. 9 out of 10.
9 out of 10. Rising quickly.
I do suggest if they are not opposed to it, then if we should stay at least another day in case something goes down. We have all of our hit die back and everything else.
Absolutely welcome. Food and shelter is provided. Because not everyone in the Underdark is a dick.
Does anyone oppose that?
I'm good with it.
I'm good with it.
Yeah, if we come to agree, and it's like, great. Fergus is like, turns to the jellyfish. Can one of you jellyfish, so you can hear me, come this way? I need to talk to you away from. And I just wave to everything around.
I fully encapsulate the temple. Walk wherever you need to go, and I'll be there.
Oh yes, and anyway, I don't know much. I swim away from the groups.
Mm-hmm. You know, I have as you're swimming away, and the voice seems to follow you. He's like, I have considered trying to find a way to create like a face or a body because people find this disorienting, but I never really seem to find the effort.
I mean, if we wind up communicating in the future, I point over at Freya as we're swimming. She could probably build you something.
That's interesting.
So yeah, I
like a pumpkin.
I take the jellyfish, myself away from the group, and I talk to the jellyfish about wanting to do a sending and a dream if they don't mind. I want to do a sending, actually to where is it? Hestia.
Yep.
How am I going to word this?
Yeah, be sure to you can take a moment and type it out because it's 25 words or less. And then I'm just double checking. Do they get to respond?
Yes, they do. With a 25 words or less.
Gotcha. While you are taking a moment to type and figure that out, back with the group. Oh my god, that would be great, but no. I'll take a moment to respond. Iago kind of turns to the rest of you, and says, "I hate to bring this up because," makes a few glances at Freya. The jellyfish did say that Maldraxxus used to fight a blue dragon, to which the jellyfish just immediately confirmed because he was having multiple conversations at once. We do know of a half blue dragon, don't we?
No, you're kidding me. Him? We're gonna have to get him? How many other blue dragons there are? That's Death is Dead.
I asked the jellyfish to elaborate on what they're talking about because I hear the shouting somehow. And
I'm sure
you hear from the distance, "Son of a bitch!"
I hate that guy. That guy is such a bitch.
What guy are we talking about?
And if we have him work with us, he's just going to take all the shit.
That's what he does. That's the only thing he does.
The jellyfish say to you, Fergus, "If you'd like to rejoin this conversation, it'd be much faster than me just relaying."
No, I'm done. I had to state that. I'm good. Breathe.
I just love the idea of this jellyfish. Like, so Fergus says.
So yeah, I have to type out for the sending.
Okay.
So it's like, "Hey Hestia, Fergus here. We found and rescued a bitch named Nitri Vakazar, enslaved by some fish. Should we be concerned?"
Okay, give me a moment to compose the response.
Taskul, how do y'all know Blue Dragon?
Shortly after we lost you to the depths, We were overtaken by a bunch of drow pirates. Their captain was a half dragon. He took us captive for a while, and that's where we met the fishman we fought, and who led us into a trap, which ultimately led us back to finding you. So there's that.
I don't know. I don't remember anything that was going on, but now I've woken up to a reality where all our allies are Durger and Drow and
Yeah, the
fucking
drow didn't want to
jellyfish.
play nice. So there's still that as well.
And a dragon.
Oh, the dragon's not our ally. He's a jackass.
Now this should go about as well as saving that Drow did then.
But you're right
Alright.
the first time. They were all cozies.
Cozings. Okay. So what is let's lay out our game plan. What is the move?
Well,
All right, so there's a
Take his
commandeered
boat.
drow ship somewhere, right? I thought I heard that.
Yeah,
so
she's
take his
She's
boat.
giving us
We're back
apparently
to-
a magic-powered drow ship.
We're back
Cool.
to exploring the sea blindly.
So sounds to me like we're just going at. Oh, fuck. Okay, so then we're gonna have to go talk to Captain Blue Orc or whatever, Captain Blork.
Captain Underpants, that's his new name.
We're gonna have to go talk to him. All right, is that the first thing on our to-do list here?
Are we gonna have to make our way back to that port city so we can, restock and everything? Because
Why don't we just go fight the dragon?
Yeah,
we need to
somewhat
find a
doubt
way to
that-
get to it.
Somewhat doubt that captain knows where the red dragon is.
Yeah, but we do know where he is. We just need to get to him.
Yeah.
How were
But-
y'all heading there before?
We were supposed to try to find a whirlpool and hope for the best.
The fishman claimed to know a way, which turned into an ambush.
God, what an asshole that guy was, or whoever was driving him.
No, we can definitely get this orc guy on our side. I mean, I don't like him, but the tactical advantage is too much if this red dragon killed his dad, right?
I assume we'll be discussing this after I come back from what I wanted to do there. since
Yeah,
you're-
I'm just making sure the word count here is right.
No, you're good.
I'll remind you, the last time we fought this guy, didn't I shoot him in the eye?
Yeah, and we also have to prepare it. Even if he does work with us, we're gonna have to be prepared from the get-go that he's probably gonna be ready to betray us as soon as we're done. So there's also that. Something tells me he's not much in the way of honor. I don't know, Ignis, do you know about him? And I relay the information to her about the person we're talking about if she doesn't already know.
Yeah, she's familiar with Captain Hellspit.
Yeah.
Yeah, honor is not really his method of operation.
Yeah, so even if we do get him to work with us, as soon as we're done and we're even a little bit weak, he's probably just going to try to kill us all and take everything.
Well, ideally, we would both be going after the red dragon at the same time. So either way, we'd both be weakened to some extent.
Yes, but he has a bigger crew, and
But we got, a couple of strong dwarves. What does he have?
from what I understand, a blind lady that had bats and an entire crew and probably some other things we didn't see.
Well,
He's
yeah,
been
but
after a lot of.
how many of
long
them are going to be killed by the dragon?
This is fair, but again, I'm not sure how we're going to get him to work with us without having to have more risks than.
I think. Okay. I mean,
It depends on.
no,
It depends on what you guys think. It's more of a trade-off. Like, is it worth getting him on to work with us if we can, versus going in alone, or risk going in with him, figuring things out, and then having to deal with him literally right after we deal with the dragon? Because
I
what's
say
going
we
to happen.
go. This is my opinion, so I'm giving the argument on this side. Okay. Once we get up, we find Captain Hellspit. Okay, and We run it past him, okay? If he seems very agreeable to the idea, okay, then we roll with it. But if he starts giving us a bunch of bullshit, then we can just go on with the dragon slaying.
I'll say, Fergus, whatever you decide, I'm with you. But a word of advice is don't bargain against yourself before you have the chance to talk to him.
I mean, might as well try. I mean, once we get up to the surface, we probably should head to port. It'll be the best probably shot of finding the bastard. And if things don't go that well, there is some code of conduct at port, at least.
Doesn't like half of Dimport want you dead?
Oh yes, that's gonna be a fun story. I mean,
Well,
who doesn't want me dead at this point?
Guess what? We're gonna have
Making
to
friends
fucking
everywhere.
figure it out, okay? Because we're running out of options.
Also, you get the message back from Hestia there.
Mhm.
Fergus. I'll put it in the chat.
Fergus is like, Thrum misses her.
Yeah, the reason that the one that has literally tried to kill you at least twice is weirdly the nicer of the two drow ladies that you had around.
You know, all this harassing her, it's wearing on her, and she's gonna come to find us endearing in the end.
Just keep doing it until Stockholm Syndrome sets in.
I
I'm
mean,
gonna say
technically,
that's very
if you
similar to my fourth wife. It's not healthy.
technically speaking, the original story of Stockholm was that the hostages at a bank robbery didn't turn in the robbers because they got to know them personally and they didn't want to see them suffer. So technically, yes. If you just convince her to develop empathy for you.
I cast empathy.
Mm.
Somehow she has advantage against saving against it.
Mm. Let's see. Nulgrim, could you just give me an insight real quick?
Yeah.
Just giving you all the chips on the table here, since you were brainstorming ideas.
Not my strong suit, but hey, not too bad.
It's a bit more of a long shot than asking the pirate captain, but you did recently read a book talking about dragons. That you didn't at the time. You didn't know about Maldraxxus being a thing, so you kind of just skimmed it. But there might be more information on there. Unfortunately, it's in the private collection library of Alexei Veilcroft, that vampire that you pissed off.
We're just making all kinds of friends in this ocean. Have I mentioned I hate the ocean?
Bring it all back.
So I think we're definitely doing this the hard way.
Thrum stares at Taskell.
How did we piss off the vampire? I don't remember.
You started releasing his mental patients. He's not like out for blood. He just very sternly asked you to leave.
Yeah. Well, I mean, by definition, isn't he technically out for blood with being a vampire and all?
Yeah, but
Listen, Loki, you've been at it all night.
All right. Do we want to try the vampire route? Do we want to try talking to him?
I mean, I'd honestly prefer that than Captain Hellspit, but I somehow think it's about equal. I know, Thrum, you don't have any context. Would you rather side with a Duergar half-dragon pirate or a vampire doctor?
Frankly, I'm not opposed to doing both, but
I mean, we could do both too. I mean,
this question is so ridiculous.
I think you guys are really underestimating the power of an angry half-dragon on our side.
I mean, either way, no matter what we're doing, we're probably going to port first thing as we get out. So,
fuck, what are we gonna do about Fergus? Let me see.
What are we gonna do about me? What?
Well, we're going to port. People hate you. I'm trying to see if there's a way we can hide you.
I don't know. Can I pilot your mech for you?
No, I've
Here's
got
a
an
question,
idea.
Gombo.
Do we
Uh-huh.
have a barrel on this
And I'm
boat?
going to run this past you, okay?
Yeah.
I bring Fergus, okay? I teach him very rudimentarily how to like walk backwards and forwards in the suit, okay?
Mhm.
Is this something that's possible?
As per the rules of your suit, if you are not in it and operating it, it will follow you if you wish at a speed of 5 feet per round, and it still has its hollow center. So if he doesn't mind just walking slowly, which because 5 feet's kind of like a normal walking pace, he can
Mhm.
just be a little baby in there.
Yeah, let's do that.
Which means
that is
we're gonna have to determine who's gonna be doing the talking while we're at port. Because I think I'm usually the only one that does that.
Taskell?
I
Doesn't
mean,
he- are you-
Nogrim used to talk a lot. He was a good delegate. You do still talk, right?
Well, of course.
I can
Sources
talk.
is also getting about the cultists too, whom we abandoned.
Well, I'm not worried about
Jesus
just
Christ!
port
Y'all started a
because-
cult too?
I'm not worried about the cultists at port because if they start causing too much of a problem, people are going to start, taking care of them. Like,
And
Iago says to Thrum, more like accepted leadership of a cult and then betrayed.
Of course, why not?
So-
I assume it was a cult of drow.
I'm pretty confident the cultists are going to stay on the lower levels where they usually are, especially since they have no reason to assume we're coming back.
Those are just gnomes mostly.
then there was that weird slime thing. What was it? The Namer?
No, I'm not worried about him. He's going to come back way later the fuck us. We don't even need to think about him right now. Thank you for that, Fergus.
Have you not read the treatise on the hero's journey? That's some act 3 stuff.
Oh yeah, Thrum. We had a ancient evil dwarven relic of ancient evil, and I gave it to a shape-shifting monstrosity.
Shapeshifting
He stole
mind
it.
controlling
Stole
monstrosity.
Stole it and gave it to a monstrosity. Swiped it, took it.
Hey, I did not swipe it. It was in my possession at the time.
Standing in the stream.
Oh, and
running
you asked
water.
permission
I'm standing in
beforehand
the
to
stream of
give it
running
away?
water. I'm standing in the stream of running water.
Why was it in
Exactly.
your possession beforehand? Didn't we give it to Taskell?
We juggled it around to not let it get lost, and I just happened to have it at the time.
Oh, Taskell.
Hey, mistakes were made. The father himself told us not to worry about it at the time.
Sorry. Just bringing up salt and old wounds or whatever.
Listen,
damn
I'm not my
it.
best down here. I'm really soggy, and it sucks.
But the point is that beast is still there for all we know.
Yes, it is still there, but I think it'll
And
probably.
may be in charge of that cult what was worshipping the artifact.
Yes, I would assume both are probably planning something larger in the lower levels, which either way I don't think is going to concern us very much because I don't plan to go down there.
It sounds like we need to go visit this vampire first.
Yeah, let's go talk to Vampy.
Maybe he can give you whatever you need at port.
And Fergus, you can come with us to talk to him. You don't have to be in the suit to talk to him. He just doesn't like you very much in the normal way, not despise you and want you dead.
Seeing a theme.
But we can probably strike up a deal with this vampire guy, I think.
Fergus, your passive perception is 16, right?
I believe so. It's just it is.
Okay, so that drow lady just is in the corner hearing all of this.
Mm-hmm.
Just cards on the table. You've got a high enough perception to be like, yeah, that person's definitely tracking all of our words.
Mm-hmm.
You gonna come over?
No.
You want to put your input in on this? You're probably coming to the vampire thing, lady. So, like, we're not making any stops before then, I don't think. So,
Yeah.
if you want to say anything, now's the time. Wow, you have such a way with words.
Yeah, she is literally just glaring.
I mean, maybe we can pass her off as an escaped mental patient. He seems to have a penchant for handling them.
You could start with "Thank you for saving my life," and that'd be a great start.
Yeah, not being stabbed right now is probably all the thanks she'll get out of a drow.
The doyen speaks up. She's currently trying to imagine what each of you sound like screaming. And the drow goes, "Hey!"
Fergus, I'm not going to disagree with what you decide, but one big part of being a leader is admitting when you were wrong. And he stares at the drow.
She stares back, matching venom with doubly as much venom.
Hey, I said I'd see her to get out of the water. Once we're out of the water, she can swim.
Are you pretentious enough to talk to a vampire? You could probably make some good conversation. You ever met one before?
If it's not a drow vampire, I don't think she's interested.
Don't they all want to become vampires?
I thought it was demons.
I am just waiting for the curse to be removed so I can leave.
You gonna ask Jellyfish Man? He said he'd just do it if you ask.
Yeah. Hey, do you actually have a name, or are you just called by your title?
Just the title.
And it's Daishan? This is me out of character asking.
Yeah, can you type that in the chat? The name of the
Great
Doyen.
mighty Duracell.
Doyen, she is asking, do you mind if you just remove the curse and she can figure it out from there?
Oh, then she'll drown and she doesn't have a boat.
Go ahead and remove her curse.
Yeah,
she says she's waiting for the... No. This is me being influenced by my family. I'm keeping my word. We're getting her out of the water, and then she can deal with her own shit.
Out of curiosity, as far as your scale of vengeance, do the aboleths rate higher or lower than us?
Hey, Akin Vitri? The drow?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The aboleths are most certainly going to get theirs soon enough. Once I return to my family and inform them what's at the bottom of the ocean. But there is room in a drow's heart to hate multiple at the same time.
What took them so long? Why'd you have to wait for dwarves to come and save you, lady?
Oof. Maximum damage on that one.
Super effective.
Like, I'm not even going to try to spin that. That you just punched the shark in the nose on that one. Well, that got her to leave the room.
Yeah, we should probably crash another day and then get on the boat and depart.
I can show you the vessel if you would like, says the doyen.
If we're just going to wait around, we might as well inspect the vessel.
Yeah. So we'll go take a look.
Question. Are we on the ground? Because Thrum sinks, right?
Yes, you are underwater, but this is a stone building adhered to the roof that you can walk around.
Okay, so he's just
if you
standing on the
off,
ceiling of the building that's upside down on the roof.
Well, no, it's positioned so that way they don't fall up towards the ceiling. Gravity is still in effect. It's just the water bubble around it is being held up. So all the buildings are situated so that way normal down is still down, but it's the roof is stuck to the roof of the cavern.
Yep.
If that makes sense.
Gotcha. Okay, that makes perfect sense.
So you can walk around in here no problem. But if you stepped off, because these are like various towers and temples connected by walkways, a real like monastic place. If you stepped off one of those walkways, you'd sink straight down, fall through the water floor, fall back into the sea, and then sink to the bottom of that.
I hate myself.
And thus, my mission as a game master is successful.
This is how Fergus feels every day.
But the captured drow ship is 60 feet long, 15 feet wide. It comes to a point at one end that it has no paddles or sails or anything like that. It is just a flat deck on top with a hatch that goes to a single lower deck where you have to crouch to be under there. But the key feature here is that there is a detailed throne attached to the middle of the top deck, as well as a couple ballistas mounted to the nose of the ship, the prow of the ship. The throne is inscribed with Elvish, but still magical runes, making it a magical object. You guys don't need to do any detection or anything like that. As the Doyen informs you that the throne itself is magical in that when you are attuned to it and you sit in it, you can control where the ship goes with your mind. The thing that he's been tinkering with is the enchantment is made so it only works for a drow. So that's what he's trying to figure out to undo. He hasn't been putting a lot of haste into it, to be fair, but
I'm not sure if you're at the level for it, but isn't there an artificer thing where you get to ignore requirements for certain magical items?
Yeah, I believe there is.
I just don't know if he's at the level for that. So
that would be very perfectly awesome for.
Also, it'd be a way to insult injury to this drow.
Well, if it's Pathfinder or 3rd edition, we'd have UMD to try and emulate being a drow. Just think really racist and above it thoughts.
Let's see. Cantrip, Spring Zone. Let's see. Level 10. You can attune to 4 magic items at once.
Level 14. Magic item savant. You can ignore all class, race, spell, and level requirements for attuning an item.
So
we're gonna have to kill jellyfish for 4 levels.
So you can either try to get the very unpleasant drow lady to attune to it for you, or Freya, since you're taking another day here, you can try your hand at assisting the Doyen, because he's just kind of been like magic tinkering with it when he feels like it. But you actually are an artificer, so you can try to use tinker tools to alter the enchantment a little bit.
We've got time.
It's up to you guys.
Yeah, I'm going to do that. It's a tinker tools check.
Yep.
All right, and just a normal roll, right?
Yep, just a normal flat roll.
20.
All right. With the Doyen's help and the fact that he'd been spending like a month or two already working on this in his free time, you were able to alter it so it does not have to attune to just drow for it to function. If you were to find an enchantment like this in the future, you probably couldn't do this in a single day's work.
But they've been already toying with it for a while.
Yeah. The you just basically got in there, roll up your sleeves, and helped it get it done.
No, you see, you have to cross the red wire with the white wire. Oh, I've been so stupid.
So here's a fun fact for you guys. Months and months and months ago, before you guys even reached the Sunless Sea story arc of this campaign, I wrote that this is how drow ships functioned, because I thought it was a cool idea. Then I get 5th edition Spelljammer, and this is literally the description of Spelljammer thrones. It is the exact same thing. I'm like, oh, well, I don't feel original now.
We're just gonna have to travel the entire sunless sea with the left blinker on.
Yeah, it'll slowly drift to the left, and then you have to keep correcting it.
Doyen, what's her name? What are we gonna call her?
Well, I've been calling it the Drownapt, but get it?
The what?
The artist
Drownapt.
formerly known as Drow.
Because you like kidnapped, but it was a drow. You can call it what you would like.
Dwarf Force 1. Just
Drow
imagine that name on a side of a drow boat.
Yeah,
Everyone's going to get mad about that.
I mean, I'm fond of it. I like
Did
it.
you already name one of your stashes back in the Fungal Jungle Boar Force 1?
Yep. I was actually looking at that earlier in the session. That's why
Man, that food is so rotted now.
Yep.
You never went back.
Let's see. I'll come up with a right dwarfy name for it.
Wait,
The
Richard, don't you
Volkswagen.
not like Star Wars?
I like Star Wars. I just don't like the idea of playing a whole campaign of it because
Oh, okay.
it's one of those things I have to take in stride because some of the storytelling is just so overdone at this point. I'm tired of it.
If you, I know you don't have Disney Plus, but if you did, I would highly recommend you watch Andor. It is very much different from anything Star Wars came before.
Yeah. I mean, my biggest issue is there's so little subtlety between like Sith and Jedi.
This is literally why I say watch Andor.
Yeah,
'Cause the Force has nothing to do with it, and
Yeah.
you've got the rebels doing stuff where I'm like, kind of makes them feel like the bad guy, and then you get rebel Imperial officers that are like, no, don't shoot those children. They're not involved in this. Take me hostage instead. I'm like, oh no, now I'm conflicted.
Yeah, my biggest issue for the longest time, which they have gotten better with it now, it was either you had stories about Sith and Jedi being good and evil, or you had stories about smugglers.
Yeah.
And that was 90% of everything Star Wars, and it got old.
Yes, I completely agree. Once again, it's why the Andor shows, I really loved it. Because
And the thing is, I liked The Mandalorian. I haven't finished it, but I liked it. I liked I even liked the first of the new Star Wars movies. I didn't like after that, but that's another story we've had many conversations about.
Mhm.
And I have liked like some of the extended universe Star Wars stuff they've written, but there's just so much crap.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Sorry, guys. I'm gonna officially take that can of worms back out of Richard's hand.
Anyway.
So Gumbo, what does this ship look like?
Let's see. I wish there was a way to do you know if there's a way to show an image from a handout to just put it to the Roll20 chat?
I don't think there is.
Whatever. I can edit the name of it.
Can you copy paste screen and then
You know
throw
what?
it in Paint and cut it out?
No, it'll just be easier. I was going to give you guys the handout anyway.
I was gonna say because I know there is a way to take the image from the handout and have it posted in the chat of the game. I just can't remember how to do it at the moment.
There we go. I had the old name there, but we can change it. If you go to BIOS info, there's a picture of it from the top.
I see it.
I'm waiting for
some
macro.
3 bow. Are those swivel bows on the sides?
Nope, they're all forward facing.
Interesting.
Yeah. Nice thing with the addition of Spelljammer, Roll20 made these really nice sheets just for ships. So it's much nicer organized now with like an editable health and everything.
Ours just says created a character on it.
But
you got to go to bio and info.
I know, but like he said, the character sheet and stuff. But I looked at the character sheet and it just says,
create an
NPC, edit sheet directly, or use the character master.
Just click edit sheet directly.
It's blank for me.
What? But I have a full write out on my side of things.
I can see it all.
Okay, I just need to reload then.
Prowl Ballista, too many
It's the
Ballista.
same for me though, Richard. I'm it's the exact same for me.
Yeah, I'm just gonna reload. That's probably an issue.
So I got a good idea of what the ship layout is. What does like the
There it is.
hull look like? What's the exterior? I know it's like drow style, but what does that look like?
It's made of like a dark fungal wood.
What
Very
color
all
is it?
smooth smooth, clean angles. Kind of a dark purplish brown.
Okay. Purple. What are good words for purple? Or shades of purple?
Violet, amethyst.
Let's call it the Amethyst Witch.
All right, type that in the chat, and I'll do a little copy pasty for you.
Unless anyone else has a better idea. I'm just
The
trying to
Lilac Lich.
I mean, at the rate you guys
I
go
don't really
through both,
trust
you're probably
witches.
gonna run it aground almost immediately. So
Yeah.
just go with whatever.
Yeah, that's fine. I'm fine with that.
Cope figured it out.
I blacked out. What happened?
So yeah, as a part of this next long rest, someone's gonna need to attune to your new Amethyst Witch.
I like
And
that.
I'm
'cause
also
it's
going to have the Delian send that dream spell.
Yeah, who you want it sent to?
I'm going to have it sent to Marigold Tea Leaf.
Gotcha.
Basically, because you send a message, but it doesn't seem like it has a word limit unless you're trying to hurt somebody.
No, you can literally just say whatever you want, but they can't respond.
Yeah, it's basically saying, "Hey, look, I this is weird. Talking to you in a dream. I'm alive. Life sucks down here under the ground," and basically give a rough explanation of what's been going on. Not like details that people can piece together what we're doing in case she is captured or something.
Yeah, you've been gone over a year.
Yeah.
This point.
But basically saying, if I can ever
she's
get out of
moved
here,
on.
I'm going to send a message and say, if you want to come see me, if whatever. Hey, just making sure you don't think I'm dead. Very awkward, very like late teenage awkward, speaking to a high school ex / maybe not ex, but in the meantime.
Yep, you had more confidence sending a text to your enemy.
Yep.
Yeah, she's moved on and has a baby
isn't
now.
that pretty in character for anyone who's essentially a teenager?
Yeah.
Like, you can send hate mail all you want, but the minute you're trying to talk to somebody you like, you're like, hi.
Well, it's the thing is because you actually want someone to like you. If it's all like, hey, take it or leave it, fucko, it's easier.
Yeah.
Yeah, these sheets are way nicer 'cause it's got like the hit
Yeah.
point threshold.
Yeah, I reloaded it and it worked a lot better.
The attacks are built into the sheet with a ballista and mini ballista. Spelljammer clarified that siege weapons have a fixed modifier regardless of who's using them, but they do massive damage.
All right. Any more work need to be done on it? We got it all situated here.
I mean, need to drain a lower deck of water, but when the Doyen lowers it for you, he'll take care of that. Or it's complicated.
All right. Well, I am ready to take off whenever you guys are.
Who's attuning to the ship? Was it
I
Freya?
think I'm going to, yeah.
Don't forget, you also have cohorts that can attune to stuff too, if you need it.
Yeah, but I'm the artificer, so I'm going to do it.
Is anyone proficient with flute instruments? Because I have a flute that I'm not attuned to if someone wants to use it.
And a harp.
And we have a harp, but I think that harp has to be from a bard.
Yes, correct.
So that won't really fly for any of us. But my flute just requires attunement, so if anyone can play it, I could check the cohorts and see what proficiencies they have.
We're dwarves. We don't play the flute.
Yeah, I think you're the only one who liked to blow on that.
Yep. The only flute they play is the skin flute, which your mom is highly proficient in.
Which is his grandmother.
Again, a rare self-burn.
Yeah. But unlike you, Fergus, I'm resistant to fire damage.
I'll just put it in my hat.
All right. So you guys waiting one more day and then you're setting out?
I think that was the plan. And I think I'll take a quick bio.
Yep, I'll get some more water. I'll be right back.
Yeah, good call.
Yeah, I'll be right back.
I'm back.
Yo, I'm back too. I'm overcoming a cold that I had, so I'm like parched all the time to keep my throat from being sore still.
Yeah, I know that feeling.
Which is weird because I'm like, the minute I started wearing a sweater to work, because usually the store is closed, but I get in there so fast I don't need it.
Mm-hmm.
The minute I start wearing it is the minute I get cold. I get a cold. I'm like, the irony of life is palpable.
Oh yeah.
What was the quote I heard the other day that amused me? No one makes it out of life a virgin. Life fucks all of us.
Are we waiting for anyone to get back, or?
I just heard you and Loki. I know Kenneth is always lurking in the shadows.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm not sure about Michael or Cope.
It's
in other news, my other group that I do on Fridays, one of the people wanted me to do a one shot for them, for some of their other friends and stuff, and it is going to be a clusterfuck. I can already tell. Like, I'm doing it as a favor to her, so I'm not gonna like back out from it. But the first thing I posted is basically like, character creation guidelines and everything. And as soon as they saw that, one of them was like, I don't feel comfortable re-rolling my stat line because I don't want to make changes to my character because I'm too attached already. And I'm like, you've never played the character before, my guy. I'm just gonna let it slide because it's just a one shot and everything. But like, my God, like I had to like express my opinion of it. I'm like, part of doing this one shot is trying to teach good table guidelines and etiquette. And part of that is if a DM lays down rules for the character creation and stuff, you're supposed to follow it. Like, I'm not saying like, I gave them like you could roll, or if you don't like the roll you can do the point buy or standard array. I'm not like blue balling them if they get a really terrible roll. And they just seem so adamant about it, and I'm like, this seems like. I was basically just telling them that for some DMs, this could be considered a red flag because it also comes into the thing where then they're going to start wanting to roll themselves rather than on the computer. And then you have to worry about fudged dice because what if they don't like that? And God forbid, what if their character dies because there's an unlucky roll? How are they going to react? It's just stuff that's going to have DMs with red flags going off in their brains, and it's going to be harder for them to find groups in the future. And that was part of my whole thing of this, is trying to teach people how to find groups and how to be comfortable in random groups they might join.
I gotta say, with folks who are hinging like that, one way to get them away from loving their character that I really appreciate in one shots is the pre-made characters. And that way they have no time.
Oh, they wouldn't even give them the time of day if I made a pre-made character.
No.
I guarantee it.
Maybe if you can get them to do a second one another time, that's a good way to get them.
I don't think I'm going to be doing a second one for these people. Two of them haven't even made a fucking account on Roll20 yet.
Do what I did. Turn one of them into a dog.
Yes.
It's gonna be like a heist one shot that's gonna go on for maybe 2 to 3 hours.
Bought a great sword.
God. That group I played the Giant Slayer game with, everyone else was pretty nice, but the DM was so antagonistic. I think because he felt entitled, because he was paying for a Roll20 subscription.
Mm-hmm.
He felt so entitled over that. He was like, I'm spending money. Like, whenever someone had to call out, like, it happens, bro. And he would get so angry over it.
Life happens, man.
Yeah.
And like, I didn't know how to tell this guy. I've been playing with another group a whole fuck longer than I've been playing with you. And no one ever gets this mad over someone not showing up, or they didn't even not just like ghost, right?
Yeah, they just said they weren't going to show up.
Yeah, if they give fair warning, it's going good.
Like, before the advent of paid DMing that is rampant on Roll20 now, I remember this one person was like, hey, I'm looking for making a group for this AP. If you join, I expect you to contribute like a equal amount of portion towards the cost of the AP.
Mhm.
And so many people were flaming this guy. I'm like, this is the most reasonable approach of
Right.
wanting people to pay
I
for your
was
game.
about
Like,
to
hey, I'm starting an AP. It's gonna be like $60 to $80
Mhm.
at best.
Yeah, 20. It's 20.
No,
it's
man.
like
Basically
$50
$20, and I'm never gonna charge you again. You're not gonna have to pay per session. And now you have people $25 a session for 4 hours.
Mhm.
And I plan on doing it every week. And guess what? You're not one of 4. You're one of 8 people because I'm trying to get as much money as I can per session.
Yeah. That sounds like it's a good deal, but then I do the mental math on that, and I'm like, oh wow, I'll make so much more pushing carts. That must be like a side gig or something.
It is always a side gig, or people
Yeah.
don't go outside. But I mean, like these also, there's some people who are professional doing it that where they say you get, say make it even 5 people per game. That's $100. You do it every week. That's $100. So $400 in a month. But then you run a game on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays.
Mhm.
Suddenly that's $1,200 a month. Well, maybe you can fit in another game on like a Saturday or Sunday. And then you see how it adds up for these people who are trying to make money off of the hobby.
Oh yeah.
And you can also be running the same game, but just with different
Yeah.
groups.
That's what a lot of
night after
people
night
do.
after
Yeah, if
night.
you were to do that, you would obviously pre-mades, because then you also can tie into like the marketing Wizards of the Coast does. But you'd probably become, like, speaking for me, very clinical about your approach to it. Like I love to put personal spins
Absolutely.
and twists on stuff, but if you're doing that like a machine, like it's nothing's going to be personalized.
Yeah.
You just don't have the
Whatever
time.
happened? Just being a fucking hobbyist, man.
I know.
That's what I say. That's what we do here. I don't.
Yeah, again, if I ever did charge anybody, which I don't think I would, it would
Yeah.
literally just be for the materials
Yeah.
of the game.
Yeah,
like
I can see doing that. Like if we wanted to do Kingmaker as its second edition version, I'd be willing to chip in some cash to the pool
Yeah,
to get all the
see,
stuff.
that's fine. And also, we've been playing for
for
so fucking long.
Yeah, we're a collective now.
We are a hive mind.
Yep.
Haven't you
We
seen
all
the times
bought
Civ.
like,
Have you seen the times I've made a song reference and Cope immediately starts singing it?
Oh yeah. By the way, for those of you who
Doing
weren't
my ear,
involved
man.
in the Civ game, we actually finished the Civ game.
Yeah, Gombo got the religious win.
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
I
How many
spread
times did y'all have
Seamonism
to
across
play?
the entire world.
Man, I want to start another game whenever we have free time.
Yeah, sure. Just hit me up.
How many hours did it take to complete the game?
Like 8 to 9.
Yeah, I think about 10 hours, because we did 2 4-hour sessions, and then the last one we did was only about 2 hours. So yeah, it's about 10 hours.
Yeah, that's a lot.
I mean, we also didn't. We
That's
had
what
it
I
on
figured.
standard. We had it on a standard game
Well-
without making a shorter one.
maybe if you're
Yeah.
not working on gamer time, Cope.
True.
But yeah, hit me up anytime. I'm gonna do a different strategy next time. We had a very passive and kind sort of interplayer dynamic. If I get a different Civ, I'm probably gonna become a military stomp your face person. Because there's multiple situations where if Richard was not so kind, he could have probably just rolled in and conquered me before I did a religious victory.
I mean, I probably could have.
Nuclear Gandhi.
But at that point, we were just like so adamant to try to get that one guy off the map because he was winning by a load off.
Mhm.
And then by that point, I'm like, we were so close to the end, anyways. If you hadn't won, it would have just gone down to points.
We'll get back to this, but I do love the the comments of all the missionaries that were passing through your empire to get to America.
Yeah.
There was, I think I produced 40 of them. There was more missionaries active in another nation than they had their own units on the board. They couldn't move some people around because there were so many religious people. I sent so many missionaries, they probably outweighed the native population. Anyway, back to this.
Yeah.
So, after another night of rest, you load up the newly christened Amethyst Witch. The Doyen uses magic to create an air bubble around you, which you have the brief feeling of suffocation for only about a moment before he casts Dispel Curse.
Mm-hmm.
And your skin is no longer see-through like a frog's, and you can breathe air again.
Oh, skin, I have missed you.
I'm gonna tie myself to the deck.
Oh God, I'm even paler than I remember.
Yeah. Fergus is the only one who got paler.
All right. Well, now that we're back to the surface, do we got any back pay?
Well, how do we get out of this water? Oh, nicely done.
Nitra climbs aboard. Nitri, keep getting her name wrong. Nitri climbs aboard the ship and is just like, let's just get this over with quickly. And the Doyen starts using telekinesis to lift the ship. Says, do not hesitate to return. You're always welcome here. Friends of Ivy's are a friend of mine.
Do you have a way for us to contact you if we're ever in the sea again and we don't have the ability to dive?
The Temple of the Binding Current is always here on the ceiling of this cavern. You're welcome to come back. Because as he lowers the ship with telekinesis, you exit out the bottom of this bubble, and the actual sunless sea is below you as the lights of the temple of the monastery is over you, shrinking as you are lowered down into the water.
Mm-hmm.
Hello, darkness, my old friend.
Taskell, if you're not doing anything, if you have the components for it and stuff, we might want to ward this boat before we go back down to that cavern that has the killer bees.
You can say that you had done that during your last long rest if you'd like. That was the Sea of Ghosts over here. Yeah.
But I know eventually we're going to go back there, so preemptively, because it doesn't dispel.
Correct.
Unless someone dispels it, I guess.
A cavern with killer bees.
Poor Thrum is like, what the hell happened when I was gone?
The most ridiculous place I've ever heard of.
God, do you guys remember that half-dragon pirate captain? And then we pissed off that cult and met that vampire psychologist?
No, I like
what happened?
The vampire was like 6
not to
days
mention
later, we remembered. Oh yeah, and there was that vampire. Like, he wasn't
and
even
the big
important enough to be at the beginning.
Latinus cube that stole our deadly ancient dwarven artifact.
The one that gave it away.
All right.
He extorted it. Okay.
Yeah, he extorted it.
It was blackmail.
Mm-hmm.
Or extortion. But I don't know that.
It'd be extortion.
Like he said.
You give me this, or I'm going to come and hurt your family. Or your lady you like, not your family. You hate your family. That'd be fine with you.
Yeah, his exact argument was, I'm smart enough to know that I can't kill you guys in a direct confrontation, so I'm leaving no matter what. What's his argument? With the ship, you can move 10 hexes per day. Keep in mind, that means the person attuned to it, Freya, will need to be awake 24 hours a day. She can transfer it to another person as an action. That was one thing that the Spelljammer game added, which I included here. You just can lay your hand on someone's shoulder, and you can transfer attunement of the throne to them, so that way you can swap out shifts.
When we do get back into the boat and then into the actual Sunless Sea, I'm just going to turn to the Drow lady. Like, well, you were waiting to leave once you were uncursed, right?
Yep. She casts fly and goes away.
Once she's literally off the boat, I'm going to shoot an arrow at her when she's over the water.
All right.
I told her I would let her be safe until she was free and free to leave, and now she's left, and she has shown nothing but animosity about killing and enslaving us. And gotta say, Fergus is getting a little tired of this.
Yeah.
There you go, boy. I'm pulling out
And
my
I will do the rogue aim thing where I sacrifice movement and bonus to just get one good shot on her.
All right.
So let me know when you're ready for me to attack.
Anytime.
Okay.
That most certainly hits.
So that's 23 points of damage.
Action surge. Bring this bitch down.
If you want to.
I want to see if she's going to fail her concentration before I action surge. See if she plummets.
Splash.
She'll probably get back up, but I made my point. We can go.
You really poked holes in it now, son. You really ought to finish what you start.
If she pursues. I mean, I opened the first barrage. Someone wants to finish it.
Yeah.
I mean, probably at this point, she's beyond the edge of your dark vision now.
Yeah.
I'm going to say, like,
underwater.
Yeah, he's like, I'll get her, jumps in.
Nope.
I mean, at least this time Thrum could use his action to teleport.
That's true. He'd be like a child that's slowly drowning. He'd keep appearing at the top and then sinking back down and appearing at the top.
Why
and sinking back
aren't
down.
any of you grabbing my head?
So
This
beyond
sounds-
range of 80 feet, so I can't hit her with a couple Eldritch Blasts for good measure.
I mean, it's just a matter of the fact that it's pitch black darkness beyond your dark vision is what it is. It's
Fair
like
point.
absolutely within your firing range, probably, but
It's vision range.
yeah.
I gotcha. Makes sense.
Just let her go.
Yep. And this isn't about killing her. This is about sending a message. And the message is, you're an asshole.
She cast fly, and then she got a single movement action, which was 60 feet, and then further shot her.
And the boat's moving, so yeah, she'd be out of sight.
All right.
Meanwhile, Ivy can still see her, and she's holding up her middle finger.
It is true. I could just see her and be like, wow, she's making all kinds of rude gestures.
She is pissed.
I feel like this isn't even the worst thing that drows do to each other, okay?
What, shooting each other in
Foreplay,
the back with an arrow? That's foreplay.
I was going to say, that's foreplay in most fucking families.
Yeah.
And yes, I say families because they're drow.
All right. Well, which way's it?
Because they're all cousins.
Yeah, I say we go this way, away from where we got the trap on us.
Yeah, probably sailing into the anti-magic sea with a boat powered by magic is not a good call.
Yeah.
At least not until we invest in some oars.
It is always important to have a paddle with you, no matter
Or
how much
catch,
you trust.
domesticate, and harness a couple of very large fish.
Let's do this real quick so that way you can know what the score is.
Now that is something Thrum and Nasarima could agree on, Cope. Always have a paddle with you.
So yeah,
I was like, oars, fish.
you still have, according to the little handout here, you still have 9 hexes of movement. Got one going north, one going south.
As is tradition, I'll keep on watch with the spyglass.
Mhm.
If we're trying to get back to the island place, we would probably want to go south.
To Dinport.
Yeah, because there might be a dead end when we get to the south, but better to check.
All right. Is that Where
I don't
you all-
It's up to Freya, whatever she wants to do, because she's the one.
Did we want to go
so.
to Dimport before we visited the vampire?
I mean, we can go to visit the vampire first. Either way, south is where we have to go.
I say let's go talk to vampire. I mean, we can take a vote if you want, but that's my vote.
I'm fine with that. It's literally on the way. If we want to just make a quick pit stop, if we get in that island, and if we can get into that sea anyway.
Because we're literally just going to be bargaining with him to read his book, right? That's what we're after.
Or see if he might want to help with the dragon. But
Yeah,
I got it.
but we'll let you negotiate that, Fergus, our very charismatic, beardless friend.
Making nothing but friends.
Oh yeah, speaking of which, I have a full beard right now. I'll be right back. And I go below deck and crouch down and shave.
He calls that a full beard? He's got a full beard.
Father Mountain, I knew there was something.
I come back with a freshly oiled mustache and a goatee.
That's okay.
God,
I was saving that oil for a special occasion, but I felt like feeling pretty right now.
All right. So is it to the north or to the south?
It's to the south, right?
South.
All right. South it is.
Sooth. Let me guess, dead end?
Dead end.
Dead end.
Oh no, wow.
Tunnel
I was
continues. Want to keep going south?
I say so.
I've never been on this
Southward.
lake. Don't y'all know where we're going?
I mean, can you see as I motion to the darkness?
Yeah, but you were confident about getting back to this port. Which way is it?
Somewhere to the south.
Okay. Okay.
Tunnel separates south and east.
Sooth.
2, 3. Just making sure I keep track of 4. Continuing south, I assume.
You.
5. And then you hit this crossroads, and you should be able to see areas you've already explored from there. Over there, okay.
Sorry, no, that was. I'm trying to. The chuckle fucks is kind of blocking some of the vision.
Yeah, I'll just turn off the nameplate. You guys should be able to see it.
Yeah. Okay, yeah. So it looks like we're gonna have to go. We'll be way closer to Dinport before we can get to the dragon area. It looks like from here.
You mean the vampire?
Vampire, yeah. I was thinking of the Hydra because he killed the Hydra. But if we go, because this way it doesn't look like it's gonna broach into here. So unless we try to go around up north, that seems like a bad idea. We'll have to go down, and we might as well stop at Dinport on our way to go see the vampire.
Yep, sounds good.
Plans change.
All right. So.
Also, Thrum, when we get to the next the big open ocean, do not say a word. And this isn't me just being an asshole like normal. Literally, we will die if you say a word.
So you're telling me no one on here is going to be talking?
No one is going to be talking. No one is going to be
live with
sneezing.
that. I can absolutely live with that.
Just thought I'd mention it.
No one's going to be grumpy, sleazy, or sleepy, or Doc either.
See what you did there.
Listen, it's important you know this isn't like all the other times I tell you to shut up.
That's why I said it.
Look, this time I'm not being a jerk. You're still a shithead, but I'm not a jerk.
5, 6, 7, 8. You guys have re-entered the Gaunt Sea. Thankfully, you've got Ignis with you. She knows paths through the shallows and the sharp rocks to get you to Dinport. However, things have changed a little bit here. As you're going through the waters here, you notice that crashed onto a couple of the rocks, and you see through your spyglass are ships, very much like the one that you're on, that look like they've been shattered and ran aground.
Ruh-roh.
Though your dark vision does not such see colors, you do see a few tattered banners flapping from the prows of the decks. Just a solid
drow
color by the
ships.
look of it. Yep.
Oh boy.
Do they look like there's any living on the shores?
Nope, definitely dead.
Yeah.
Can we identify the banners?
Solid color, you said?
Solid color. You'd need to get close and make a light source.
Mm-hmm. And light sources are bad here.
Okay.
If you point that out, Ivy can use her one for usage today to just link you all telepathically to talk.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's a good smart idea.
Mm-hmm.
So as we
And
get closer,
looking forward with my Gloomstalker, it doesn't get me a better look or anything.
I
So,
mean, I have a spyglass. It's the same thing. So.
Yeah.
Dark vision doesn't see color.
Doesn't
Yeah.
see color, correct.
it's a light issue, right? Yeah.
There might be some issues going on over at Dinport.
So is this always a drow ship graveyard?
And it's almost definitely our fault. So let's go to Denport.
Yeah, let's see what's going on over there. We might have to make a U-turn or head to the west and just steer clear of there. But we can get closer enough to where they might not be able to see us, but with the spyglass, we should be able to get a good vision on the port and see how it looks.
Mm-hmm.
This may be
Because
a
we can
dumb
see
question.
quite a ways out. And
Yes.
Dinport's big enough that when we get closer, we can at
Right,
least.
because I believe I can count up. I think you can only get to this hex today, so you'll be able to see before you commit. Let me double check. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Fergus.
We were
I have
at
a
8 at
question.
this one, so this would be 9, I believe.
Yep.
I don't know much about sailing. Why are we going back to the port?
Because we were looking for the half dragon guy, and he's a pirate at this port.
Okay.
Um,
Did we see any non-drow ships crashed on the rocks?
No.
Yeah. So if
They're
we can
going
get
to
to
blow
here,
us out of the water.
yeah. Well, that's why we're going to stop before we get too close, because they don't have the technology we have to see that distance.
Good question here, though. Are you having running lights?
No, we're not
Okay.
supposed to in this island or this waters. So
It's a noise thing more than anything else.
okay. Well, we're not having running lights either.
All right, you get close enough where you can just see the glint of the oil lamps and lights of Dinport. Thrum, even without the eyeglass, you get your first look at Dinport. A stalagmite jutting out of the inky black ocean, covered in shanties, houses, and mines, connected by a giant elevator and a clock tower to a whole network of mines and hanging shelters connected to the cavern ceiling. The constant ding and ringing of the central bell tower reverberates even this far out.
He thinks to himself, this is the most shoddy workmanship I've ever seen.
It is also the biggest city you've seen since coming down here. Let's see. Give me a perception with that spyglass, Fergus. Freya, you can do the same thing with Gloomstalker, as you are giving a look over Dinport.
And just for good measure, I'm going to add a proficiency die to it to make it 24.
Yeah, slow down. Give me a second. You said perception?
Yep.
Add normal?
Just flat. All right. Well, Fergus. Though it may be hard to tell, Dinport looks a little bit more beat up than it was last you were here. But the first thing that you do notice is that by the docks and off of several of the hanging structures in the lower part of the city, there appears to be ropes and chains suspended between the buildings, and there are bodies dangling from their neck from these chains. And though you can't make out details at this distance with the lighting, they are definitely far too tall and lean to be dwarven or gnomish.
Mm-hmm.
They're sure as hell not human.
I see the drow are trying to assert their authority in Dinport and did not go well. I relay that to the group.
Mm-hmm.
Their authority was not respected.
Yeah, so coming into Dinport
well.
with this boat might not be the best of plans.
What about that folding boat? Do we still have that?
We do, yes. So, but there would only be a couple of people that could go over there with that.
We raise some sort of flag, or I don't know what we have.
Yeah. Ignis says, it is a pirate port. Stealing a ship is not unheard of. I might be able to work something with some of my magic to try to send an image up as we get close. The city's not exactly organized in its defense, so...
Ignis, would it be preferable if we have a smaller boat sail with you in there to inform them as we approach? Did that make it easier? Because we can have a magical foldable boat that we can.
It can hold 15 people.
Yeah, but we don't also leave this boat alone because then someone's just going to take it or sink it. So
Absolutely not.
I mean, if anonymity is more of your concern, then we might just tow out this ship to deeper waters and then move in on the folding boat.
Yeah, I think that's the move. Let's go in on the folding boat.
I mean, do we have a boop boop for arm and alarm on this boat so no one else can drive it?
Boop, boop.
I mean, technically someone else can come along and attune to it, or like you said, just scuttle it.
Yeah.
Is there a way to...
Because if we lose this boat, we're stuck in Dinport.
Let's...
Actually, I probably should stay on the boat, honestly. Actually, all joking aside, I probably should stay on this boat and not go to Dinport. So I guess I could be the guard and someone else can chill with me.
I can stay with you.
I guess we can't see over there, but thinking if maybe we can find like a little grotto or something to put the ship in.
We can also pretend that we're scuttled with the other boats over on the side.
Yeah, you can position yourself by some of the sharp rocks jutting out of the gaunt sea to camouflage this ship a little bit. It's not depending on that it won't get discovered. There is no easy grotto on Dinport because it's kind of a cylindrical shaped city, so everything around the edges are being used.
I'll stay with Fergus. We've got some catching up to do, and it doesn't sound like Dinport is a place that I'm going to like very much.
What is... Someone has Ivy's sheet handy. What is the range on her telepathy?
Let's see. Ivy.
That's the beautiful...
That was like 120 feet or something, wasn't it?
That was like
no
1
one
mile.
likes Dinport.
Oh, yeah, 1 mile.
Yeah, okay, so won't be able to communicate with you, and if she gets beyond 1 mile, then the spell dissipates. You'll just have to sit here in brooding silence.
Yeah, we won't be able to communicate with each other, so that might actually be the best conversation Fergus and Thrum ever had. So either Ivy sticks with us and we have psychic powers to talk to each other with, or she goes with you guys. I mean, to be fair, we probably should have more than just me and Thrum anyway. So
yeah, I would say keep Ivy with us so we can communicate if something tries to
I would say
hit
keep
us.
Ivy and Miku with us, and everyone else goes to Dinport.
Mm-hmm. Because that way y'all have Ignis, who actually knows Dinport.
Mm-hmm.
And plus, it doesn't leave us too thin of arms in case someone does come to the boat.
Mm-hmm.
And out of character, Thrum is not going to do well walking amongst all those Durgar. And I mean, I'm metagaming here, but that's just a bad idea.
No, you just walk around, and every time they react to you, you just be like, Golem.
Like a fucking Pokemon.
Yeah.
Golem. Oh, it's a Golem.
Golem. I mean, to be fair, if he was any Pokemon, it would be Golem.
It would.
So where do we want to put the ship, guys?
Absolutely.
I think we put it next to the other scuttled drow ships and just try to pass it off as another one.
Dude.
Close enough to not actually sink, but close enough to make it look like it's just with the rest.
Yeah, I think you let us do a survival one time to like hide in a camp. Could we do that to kind of make this boat look?
What's your survival at now?
+5.
I have a +6, and I can use a superiority die on my roll. So if you want
to, you can, one of you can aid so to do an advantage.
Yep. So advantage. You don't have to actually roll to aid in this system. So.
Oh.
And then a D8 on top of it to make it a 21.
Or so. I just had a quick idea, but I don't know how capable these ships are.
You're going to Tokyo drift us into the port, are you?
No, I was just thinking to better camouflage it. So how secure are these ships? So like, say there was a hole in the ship, where like how would the water come in? Are there like chambers on the inside, or?
It's just it's got its top deck, and then just below that there is a lower deck that is probably about like 5 feet from floor to ceiling, and then below the floor it's just the keel. So it's a very minimalist design. These ships is a drought patrol boat, not a full-on Navy vessel. It's meant to have a small crew that's able to move quickly, often in support with a larger ship.
Yeah, I'd say I like where you were thinking, or what you were thinking there, Michael. But let's just grab some boards from other ships, and we'll use that to make it look like it's splintered and stuff. Mm-hmm. Also, you need to pass control to one of those of us who are staying behind. I'd vote Miku.
Miku?
Yeah, he's got the strength to make the sailing checks.
Well, technically, it's magic controlled now.
Strength check on this?
Yeah, nope. I was going to say it's magic. So how do we do it now?
I believe it's probably just going to be your highest mental attribute and then ship proficiency.
Well, I was thinking Miku so that Fergus can shoot if we're in a fight, and Ivy can shoot if we're in a fight.
I can also just go melee as well. I'm kind of the switch hitter of the group.
But if you're sitting in the throne,
okay,
you're out of the fight.
I mean, do I have to stay on the throne?
To make the ship move, yes.
Okay.
That's why I'd vote Miku. He's the least capable in a ranged fight. I can at least Thrum can at least water teleport, so he's not stuck on the ship.
You could just give me the control of the ship, and I can just chill on the throne when we need, and chill and watch everything go by. The whole lot of nothing that I can see.
Mm. All right, and last question, and before you guys head in, is Freya bringing the suit?
Yes, I'm probably actually, depending on how fast it goes, probably in the suit rather than the boat. I don't know how terrible they are in speed.
It sounds like a big boat. I mean, it's 24 by 8.
Yeah, it needs to be physically rowed, but other than that,
5 sets of oars. That cabin, the mast.
All right, so it is Fergus, Thrum, Ivy, and Miku that are staying with the Amethyst Witch, and everyone else is going to Dinport, correct?
Yeah. Although, do we want to swap out Miku and Iago? Because he can't speak to anybody there anyway.
Huh?
I don't know. I'm overthinking it. We'll stick with the Miku staying with us. Iago goes with them.
Yeah, let's take Iago.
All right. So you separate, take time. The ride into Dinport is a bit different than the last time you were here. The city's atmosphere is substantially less rowdy there is definitely a, for lack of a better term, a slightly more broody nature that has settled over the city. You have no issue finding a spot at the dock. There appears to be fewer ships than there were last you were here. It's still a gold coin to tie up even the small folding boat. So whoever wants to foot that bill.
Why don't we just fold it up?
I mean, you could do that, but then the harbor master still won't be happy with you.
All right. Let's
Look,
see.
Fergus isn't there. We don't have to piss off everybody.
Ignis, who do you think might know where Hellspit is? You're to guess.
No, a couple of his haunts up in the overmarket. We can ask around there. Keep our head down, though. This place feels a little bit more on the edge than last time I was here. That's saying something for Dinport.
Let's get to the overmarket then. Hoping to find this guy as quickly and painlessly as possible.
It's either that we just search the docks for the Bonnie Diamond, his ship.
Oh yeah, that's a good point. Yeah, let's look in the docks for it. So let's establish, do we want to split up, ask around, and establish a meeting place to meet back up?
I think he's asking the rest of you guys.
Sorry, what was that?
Do you guys want to split up and designate a place to meet back up? Because we're just looking for leads on Hellspit right now, I think.
Until we know the temperature of this place, we should probably stick together.
We'll check the docks first for the ship.
All right.
Then should probably have Ignis check with people that know her to find out what the hell happened.
All right. So we're checking the docks first, Gumbo.
All right. Do you want Ignis to peel off? Maybe ask around in the Overmarket or Greytown? I mean, she's a resident here, so it's up to you.
Yeah, if she feels comfortable, I don't have a problem with it.
Mm-hmm.
See if she can figure out what happened.
Yeah, so she's going to go hit up her contacts, which are substantially fewer because Jiggles convinced her to get most of them onto a boat, which was then taken by the Avaliths. But she's going to go ask them. Definitely those bodies suspended between buildings that Fergus saw. Yep, those are 100% drow bodies, most of them wearing the outfits of corsairs, obviously stripped of valuables. And you do not see any more drow walking the streets.
Damn.
Something went down.
Find the nearest rat folk on the street, slap a gold piece into his hand, and ask exactly what happened with the drow here.
No rat folk, but there are goblins and kobolds.
Okay, I find the nearest, whichever one looks like he's the smartest, most articulate.
Probably the kobold.
Yeah.
Yeah, you find a kobold cut purse that you slap a gold coin. Scans you up and down, sees a servicer dwarf. I don't know. It was all a pretty big experience. I don't know if this is really going to be jogging my memory.
I grab his wrist and take the coin back.
No, please. I've got bills to pay. And by bills to pay, I mean kids to feed. And by kids to feed, I mean gambling debts.
I don't care more than one gold piece worth, and I put it back in his hands.
Yeah.
So what exactly happened?
That was a joke I heard from another video where a guy referred to his children as gambling debts.
Oh my god, character. Yes.
So you want to tell me what happened, buddy?
What, you've been living under a rock or something the past couple months?
I've been out.
The Dark Navy, the Drow, they gone aggressive all across the Sunless Sea. That damned High Admiral of them is making new aggressive plays, trying to bring this entire area under his dominion. The Drow folk around here, well, guess they were waiting for their time or something like that, made a bid for power when the Drow fleet moved in. Well, the Night Gaunts took care of the fleet. We took care of the...
Hey. Hands up.
Hands up? Okay.
Okay, continue.
What was that about?
You said he's a cut purse.
Yeah, that's true.
So I said hands up.
Mm-hmm. We took care of the ones in the city. Must have been the right call, too. Bellkeepers didn't intervene. That's their whole thing, you know. Making sure that we don't go around just mass violence in each other, but no. The gangs put aside their differences. Ain't a lot more drow in this city anymore. Here it's worse. Out in the open seas. The whaling business, scavenging pirates, that's all gone downhill. Most people thinking about loading up on ships, heading up north, leaving the sea, taking their shot in the labyrinth of the demise. None of my business.
What a heartwarming story. And I give him 2 gold pieces.
He bolts.
All right. Well, pretty much what I assumed had happened.
Mm.
I'm a little skeptical of this. All the drow in the city were actually sleeper agents claim. I have a slight suspicion there might have been some purging going on afterwards, but that's just my gut.
Everyone who's searching the docks, why don't you give me a investigation to try to find the Bonnie Diamond?
Oh, I love investigation rolls, Gombo.
Okay. Norm and Taskell can do one too.
On it.
Well, everyone except Taskell. You do find that it is not in the dock underneath the overmarket, but rather in the berth where the ships do repairs, is the Bonnie Diamond.
Interesting.
It's currently being refitted with repaired ballista.
I guess let's ask around and see if anyone here knows where we can find the good old captain.
It's around this time that Ignis rejoins you. Right, I asked around so many contacts. Things really went tits up here a couple months back. Apparently, the Drow made an attack attempt.
Yep. I got the word from a kobold.
We're gonna need to be careful when we head out into the seas. I talked to some of the folks that are still going out there. The Drow's presence is much stronger, but worse than that, a lot of the tunnels connecting the different seas that are starting to set up blockades, doing construction. Rumor is that they're setting up sea chains to control the traffic. If you want to get between the Whaling Sea and the Sea of Black Glass, you're going to need to get through Drow ships now. Most of the eastern seas are untouched, but well, wherever this path to the dragon is, best hope it's not too far out this way, otherwise we'll be pushing into the Drow Sea, center of their navy.
Well, they are only drow ships.
Hey, there's that.
But I do see what you mean.
But our captain that we're looking for is in port. He's one of those staying active. You would see.
You know where he's setting up here?
Last I heard, I'm still on his ship.
Don't suppose we can just go up and knock?
I don't know what else to try. Stealing
All
in there probably is not going to be making any friends.
I'm going, and I know that I need you to talk to him, so. Or, yeah, so we gotta I don't want to do negotiations with this guy without Fergus. So do we want to go back and get him? I'll ask the others that are here. Because if we don't want to go through all that effort, I'm okay with it. But I would rather have Fergus here to talk to him.
I think we kind of expressly said that y'all are going to talk to him. Just out of character. I think that's what y'all are going to do. Nolgrim ain't scared.
Nope.
All right. I guess then did we establish who was going to do most of the talking then? Because it can't be Freya. Unless. Yeah.
I'm pretty sure everybody there is the ones that have the lowest persuasions and all that.
I could give it a shot. I might need a run.
Again, I didn't go because everyone wants me dead in port.
Yeah. I could give it a shot.
Yeah, but this guy doesn't, right? Not really.
I mean, if you want to come get me, that's up to you guys.
I'll give it a shot.
I'm good with whatever.
All right, you feel confident in Nolgrim? Let's go. You and me, we're going to convince this guy to get on our side.
Freya and Nolgrim, 11 seasons.
11 seasons in a movie.
Let's strategize this a bit. So,
all right.
What do we know about him, and what do we want to? How do we want to get it out of him?
He loves money. He loves stealing shit. He's half dragon, and his dad's probably was killed by the dragon we're looking for. Most likely.
All right. And sorry,
I don't know a lot of blue dragons myself.
And the dragon we're fighting is the one that has the key we need to get through the door.
I believe so.
All right.
You need to retrieve just a dwarven artifact.
From his dwarven artifact. Okay.
Yeah. Isn't it? Wasn't it just like a proof of?
Yeah,
power?
it's very non-particular.
Yeah, I remember now. So I think we open up with. Let me get the name of the dragon we're looking for. Or we don't know the name of the blue dragon, or we know the name of the red dragon.
The red dragon is Maldraxxus.
Maldraxxus, and we actually were told the name of the blue dragon, weren't we?
The Doyen didn't do it. But no, I don't think you've been directly told the name of the blue dragon.
All right.
Did Nolgrim read it?
Honestly, I feel like this is one of those things where if he did read something about a blue dragon, he wasn't keyed into dragon lore at the time when he was looking through that library. You ever had it where you do learn a fact, but your mind just kind of tunes it out in the background a little bit?
Yeah.
And we don't know where the dragon is, right? That's our problem.
You do know it's in the boiling sea. You're just trying to find a way to get there without needing to go through the drow port that's fortified.
So here's the idea that I got in Nolgrim. I'd say we play stupid, and we ask this guy if he wants to get in on the loot of a lifetime. Okay, a dragon's hoard.
All right.
We're going after it. Okay, that's my idea. What do you think?
It seems as tempting as anything else. I mean, especially given the city, I think that is the probably the best tact. What do we know about him?
Like pretty much what I said.
Yeah. All right.
I don't know we don't know a whole lot more. We only have one encounter with him, right?
Mm-hmm.
He hired Jigless, who ended up being a traitor, so that's one thing.
Mm-hmm. So,
or no, he captured Jigless, right?
He captured Jigless, and according to Jigless, so you have to take it with a grain of salt, he let him go to get you out of the ransom because on the chance that he might need a favor from you later. Now, he told that to Jiggles in confidence, but Jiggles just up and spewed it to you as soon as you can
Okay.
about it.
All right.
All right.
So
Sound like a
maybe
plan?
use that. Yeah, maybe we could use that and say we've been. Yeah, I think I can work with that.
All right. So I guess we go up and knock, or whatever the equivalent is for someone on a ship.
All right, you're going over to the ship. Before we get to that scene, Thrum, Fergus, you're in the dark. What do you guys do to fill your time? You ride up against the wreck of one of those other drow ships, using it as camouflage.
I'm just kind of chilling until he says something. I'm like,
Yeah.
I do not know
Nephew.
what to have a conversation.
Nephew, we need to talk for a minute. Or really, I just need to talk to get something off my chest.
Oh boy.
I don't know if this is all going through Ivy's head.
I guess that is the telepathy. I think the telepathy makes it so we all hear us talking to each other.
Yeah.
All right. I don't give a shit if they hear. I don't know what happened to me for the last 3 months. I don't remember any of it, but I do have these dream type memories over and over and over again, dream after dream after dream, where you made a dumbass decision and another dumbass decision and another dumbass decision. And every single time it ended up being the right call. So I'm going to stop arguing with you until you want me to. Understood?
I think I understand. Are you trying to be nice right now?
Absolutely not.
Fergus just has this big shit-eating grin. You're trying to be nice right now.
No, I'm not going to be nice.
You're nice.
God damn it, I'm not going to be nice.
You're learning to like my attitude.
It's not about your attitude. Didn't you hear what I just said?
Oh, I heard
your
it.
decisions. I'm going to agree with your decisions, not your opinions.
You're proud of your nephew.
I've never been less proud of.
No, at this point, if you didn't argue, I'd miss the white noise.
Okay, can we cut this mind talking off?
I mean, you just stop mind talking to me.
I don't want to hear you mind talking anymore.
Ivy, we all have to hear everyone mind talking.
Okay, we can stop mind talking now.
No.
I was just imagining Ivy losing it, rolling on the floor right now.
Basically.
Silent laughing.
Like, Thrum's like, can we turn off the telepathy? And Ivy, who's the one that controls it, no.
Right, well, then we can just go back to being.
Meanwhile, I'm like, Miku, I hope this helps you understand the mentality of those that aren't mushroom folk.
I have learned much on this journey of those who are not, of Zan. You are a confused lot.
Oh, 100%. Are you missing your home, by the way?
At times. But I have wandered farther than anyone from Zan has ever. I am interested to see where the road ends.
Well, hopefully we all make it okay, and you can go back and tell your people of the journey.
That is my hope as well. What is Iago called it? The sunk cost fallacy?
Don't let Iago get into your head about it.
You really can't turn this off.
I gotta learn how to tell Iago where to teach things.
Ivy's just fully sitting down, resting her chin on her hands, like, oh no, I can turn it off. Well, I'm not gonna.
I don't know how I figured it would work. I thought just, you'd think off.
Standing in a stream, flowing in water, standing in a stream, flowing.
Meanwhile, like, completely legit, he just, while they're talking, like, trying not to talk, he looks over the throne, like, do you actually ever miss the sunlight and actually not being in caves, or do you actually just feel 100% home here?
I have a driving desire to find Dammerhall. And being underground makes me feel like I'm getting closer to that. Maybe once I reach that goal, I may one day say I want to go back and walk through the mountains again. But right now, this is where I want to be.
Because realistically, I've hated about 95% of being down here. And honestly, that 5% is being a little generous.
Well, and been easy. I will admit that.
You fucking died, bro.
I
Or
have
at least
no
you thought you
idea
died.
what happened to me, but I feel very different now.
Well, you're still a bunch of rocks, so.
But underneath, it's just all wet.
Ew.
Yeah.
Ivy, shut it off. Shut it off.
A lot of chafing. A lot of wet.
He's going to start talking about his organs and body functions. Shut
a
it
lot
off.
of chafing.
It's a ploy, Fergus. That's what he
That
wants.
feeling every now and then where you would move and you'd lift your arm and you'd go, whoa, that smell.
It may be a ploy, but it's working. Turn it off.
I get that smell a lot.
Flashback to the other party.
Yeah. So you guys come up to Bonnie Diamond Gangplank. There are two very burly-looking Derogar leaning on barrels who see you coming. They look at you, and there's clearly like some recognition from the time that they beat you up and captured you.
Mm-hmm.
Say an undercommon. Oi, clear off. Don't need to be dealing with you surfacers right now. Call it an
Is she in the
act
mech suit?
Yeah, I'm in the mech
charity.
right now.
Mm-hmm.
Want to talk to Hellspit. We got a job opportunity. Lucrative.
Once a lifetime, even.
They look at each other, straighten it up, lay hands upon their cutlasses. Listen, Sun Squinter, I don't think you quite remember how it went down last time, but if you be needing a reminder, the looming 10-foot tall form of the frickin' human wall that is Captain Greymore Hellspit looms down from the deck. That would be enough, young masters. Well, it would appear that our wayward surface dwarves have come back to bargain.
If there's one thing you should know about surface dwarves, it's that we're excellent at finding our treasure.
As am I. Welcome aboard. And he takes a step off from the rail, and the two Derogar clear your path for you to come aboard.
Make our way up.
You're in the company of fine Mistress Ignis Hallowstone. 'Tis rare company that can tame that flame. Slaps Snowgrim on the back so hard you stumble forward. Well then, what be your bargain? Nothing you can't say in front of me crew?
So, Jiglis let us in on the little bargain you struck with him to buy our freedom by chance. Seemed odd to sell us only to buy us back, effectively. Or buy our freedom. Said something about a favor, or hope we could do a job later. Well, as it just so happens, we caught wind of a very valuable hoard of wealth.
Speak its name. Anyway, yeah, sorry.
Yeah.
It's Maladrax, that's the name of the dragon, right? But maybe we don't want to Say it where everyone in the
I mean, you could just say the name and he might dismiss them.
yeah. It is a valuable hoard, and I do admire you wanting to keep your crew informed. But it is very important that we be the first ones to jump on this treasure. We don't want Maladraxis to see us coming, and I didn't name drop it like that.
Mm-hmm. Lots of murmuring and eyes glance for the true. Graymore throws his head back with a great bellowy laugh. Aye, you got your eyes on the wed worm himself, operating out of that little hole that he lives in the boiling sea. Bold ones! I admire that. Do tell, what be having your sun squinty ways casting your eyes down on that dragon's booty?
We have information that they have some very valuable items and a little bit of insight, but perhaps we'll hold that for later. But let us just say that this is a fleeting opportunity.
So Gambo, out of character, you said we just need to grab one dwarven artifact, right?
Correct. You just need one thing.
So what if we bargained with this dude to just gave him all the rest of the treasure? I feel like he'll jump on that.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Don't start too strong. He might start getting suspicious.
Yeah. Also, talk him up a little bit. Start with like a 60%.
Yeah. See, we have some knowledge, but we need some capable warriors, and you've certainly shown us what you've got, and we can't think of anybody better suited to help us with this. And we'll likewise be very generous with the shares.
Oh, generous are ye? Tell me, young Master Dwarf, what be your plan? To have us galley up in our ships, assault the drow port separating between us and the boiling sea? Lots of the Daugar around you are kind of snickering at a private joke that you're not seeming to be part of. Is that why you need us humble scallywag folk on this here quest of dragon horde extractment?
We never said that it was going to be easy. If it was easy, we wouldn't come for the best.
We need someone that wants a payout.
Why, you did come to the right place there. Tell me, this ain't to be unrelated. Whatever happened to Master Jigless? I could not help but notice he's no longer in your company. It's rare that a ship should return and he's the only one not on board.
Are you familiar with his other dealings? The true masters of his actions.
Is that a euphemism to his balls, lad?
No, the
you can give me an insight if you'd like.
Okay. Not my best, but
he doesn't know about the aboleths.
Okay. No, there's a reason he's always been the one to come back. He's the one that's been luring them to their fate. Nearly got us, but through some happenstance, luck, and sheer rage, we'll say, he got his.
For one seeing mighty warriors, you seem quite mighty yourself. Drops down to one knee. Tell me, and be honest with me, lad. It's critically important. He told you a story, didn't he? A story about his secret way into the boiling sea. Aye?
Logren would just kind of give a knowing smirk and tap his nose.
Ah, and then he led you into a trap. Well, here's a secret for you, free of charge. Is true. There is a secret way in. And old Captain Hellspit here knows it.
So why haven't you taken it yet?
Haven't struck my fancy and spending my good crew's lives on Dragonfire.
Well, we are certainly more capable than most. I think with our forces combined, we have what it takes to crack that nut and get the riches within.
True, but that nut's shell, he stands back up again, is far thicker than ever. An entire Drow's navy stands between us and our prize. Slowly becoming more Scottish rather than pirate again, but who cares? They got a fresh fare, new ships, and new weapons, and that High Admiral. What was the nickname they're calling him? One of the other crew members. Oi, I heard he calls himself the Purple Commander. Oi, that's right. Yes, this is canonically the drow that Cope controlled during the flashback. Canonically the same person.
Nice.
Because why not?
This wouldn't be our first time storming through a drow stronghold where they would rather us not pass. And we wipe them out to the man.
He strokes his
Meanwhile, Richard.
Sorry, I thought I was still muted.
No worries. He strokes his blue beard.
Is that the meatloaf?
Call that.
No, these
Meatloaf.
are Mexican street corn Cheetos.
Meatloaf out of a
Yes.
bag. Oh my god, no.
Delicious.
High risk, high reward. And what was it that you were rotten again?
Out of character, I couldn't quite make that out through the accent.
He said high risk, high reward. Out of curiosity, what were you wanting again?
Lucky. We have our own missions, and there's some items in there in the Horde that helps us on our particular quest. But
How many?
I guess, say a handful.
Five?
Think one item for each of our crew, and then the vast wealth that remains, you'll have the bigger ship. Only fair you carry the bulk of the weight, and I think we both know that the coin is the most liquid of all.
For us, this is more of a test of our strength than it is a conquest for the treasure.
Is it now? Is that right?
A trophy for us each, and the rest of the hoard is for you to distribute for yourself and the crew.
Right then, young master service dwarves. This be my bargain for you then. We will sail out from Dinport, and I and my humble buccaneers will help you get to Maladraxxus's lair with all of our might and all of our cunning. But once we weigh anchor outside of that steaming shithole of a cave, you lot go in. You secure the path, take care of Maladraxxus, and claim your, what was it, 4 items?
There's a character I'm trying to recall between. There's 5 of us dwarves now, right?
Mhm.
Yeah.
There's also
No.
our allies, isn't it?
Yeah.
Mhm.
5 of us dwarves and 4 of our allies.
Then let's call that a nice even 4 then. And then the rest of the horde is ours. You need
I'm afraid it's non-negotiable. Our trophies will act as keys. If we are not able to have at least one trophy for each of our members, we'll simply not be able to achieve our goals.
One of you can give me a persuasion. You can do advantage because you're double teaming help action here.
I got it.
Yeah.
Is that at advantage?
Yes, at advantage.
Yep.
Not so good.
Out of all of the treasure, the percentage your crew will be taking will be far more than 99% of its value, I'm sure.
Taskel's just gonna walk off the ship at this point.
For splash.
4 items from the horde, and you can take whatever you want from its minions in between here and there. Eh? Kind of a bargain, considering that I'm willing to show you the path past the drow.
We have 5 dwarves, right?
It is worth pointing out you only need 1 item in total.
Yeah, but he doesn't know that. So I'm going to say we have 5 dwarves, 1 item for each of the dwarf, 5 for 1 item for each of the dwarves, and I'll take that deal you just offered.
Ah! Do I have a hard bargain? Glad to know that surface dwarves have not changed in my time. He spits into his hand, holds out his massive palm towards you. Let's shake on it then.
Orcon will spit and clasp his hands.
You fully take 1 point of electrical damage because 2 conductive liquids and his spit is electrical.
Yep.
So it's just a nasty joy buzzer.
Yep. Can I make a roll just to see if I could downplay it or overpower it?
Yeah, whatever you want to do. Pick. I'm not going to tell you what to pick for this.
We'll go with this one. Nah.
Wince, but you don't soil yourself.
Right.
He throws his head back, lets another that. He goes, "All right, you scallywags. Make ready. Gather up supplies. Get us more pitch, more bows, and get our damn ballistas fixed. We're pushing off." Turns back to you guys, points, and you come with me. Celebratory drink in my cabin. Non-negotiable.
Sounds fair. Just be known that the rest of our party is out there. So if we are departing now or shortly, we'll need to gather them up.
We still have another 2-3 days at port.
All right. That sounds good. Then let us have this drink.
Follow him back to his cabin.
Mhm.
He is Tasco going with him, or is he just not going to be a part of this?
I'm waiting on the dock for them.
Yeah, Haskell has already said that he's left. I don't think
That
our
not going to
negotiation.
be a part of this negotiation.
He leads you into his cabin, which had treasure piled in it. He literally sleeps on a pile of treasure, very much enforcing the half dragon thing. He has a table. He sits down his absolutely massive stein, which he fills with his ale, and then smaller ones for you. And he sits down opposite of this table of you, and his expression goes from this boisterous braggart pirate to very stone cold serious with you guys. Says, "All right, now we do the real negotiation. Neither of us were not stupid. Maldraxxus is an ancient dragon that could lay waste to armies. Not only is that a difficult fight even for you lot and for me, pulling out that much gold on a ship is impractical. So here's the real thing. You want your baubles? Take them. We don't have a fucking inventory of that horde to know what you take, so that was unenforceable. That was for me lads. I want 1 item for that horde. You bring me this 1 item, we're square."
Sounds fair. What item?
It's a mirror, full length, like put on a wardrobe. Silver outlines, engravings of unicorns. Bring it to me intact, and we're done.
You got a grudge?
Could I do some sort of knowledge to get an idea of what the item might be?
Yeah, you can give me an Arcana.
I did say that out loud, though. I said
Yes, you did. But I'll wait for the Arcana first.
All right.
That sounds like a mirror of scrying to you.
Ah, got your eye on others, eh? Wanted to do a bit of long-range spying?
That would be my business, young master. And
Fair
as
enough.
for the grudge, I have plenty of grudges, young miss. Against Maladraxus, no. Yeah, he killed my dad, which I assume that you figured out when you name-dropped him like that. But my dad was a bastard anyway, so I kind of consider it moot.
That's fair.
Shapeshifted into a Drogar, knocked up me mum for fun. Not exactly what I'd consider father of the millennium.
I think we could definitely get you that mirror.
Pardon my assumption.
No offense taken. But what we're doing is extremely dangerous. Maladraxus is not to be taken lightly. He is crafty and he has stayed alive this long by not being an idiot.
I know. It's not going to be an easy fight, despite the bravado we put on up there, but it needs to be done.
You know why they call him the Monument Thief, don't you?
I mean, I could imagine, but unless that there's something in the title that isn't overt.
Multi-millennia ago, a city-state was founded on their surface, was being ruled over by his arch nemesis, Blue Dragon Encephalon. And Nogram, that name rings a bell for you. Get to it. Now, Maldraxxus didn't like it, so you know what he bloody well did? He dug tunnels with dragonfire beneath it and sunk the entire thing into the ground. That city, that's his lair now. He killed an entire civilization as a prank. I'm telling you this because I don't want you to suddenly wet yourself and run out the fucking door the moment that he raises his head. Got too much.
Do you know why we're down here? Did we ever explain to you why we're down here? I'm blanking on his name right now.
Dragon Man.
Greymore Hellspit.
Yeah, Hellspit. I said, did we ever explain to you why we're down here, Hellspit?
I could hazard some guesses.
Well, let me just clear the air so that we're 100% clear with each other here. We are searching for the lost city of Dammerhall. That is our one goal for being down here. Unfortunately, that does require us to take out this dragon. There's no way around it for us. So at the end of the day, we're going to take down whatever we need to.
I can respect that. Just making sure you knew what you're getting into. A lot of fools sail these water, and I've seen them all. Old Captain Greymore Hellspit's a bit older than I let on. I remember when that city of yours wasn't even constructed yet.
That is some very interesting information.
They weren't too fond of Draugr, let alone the 10-foot-tall blue kind.
Nah.
Kabar, I have my fun in other ways.
I was just curious. Obviously, all the dwarves were driven out long before my time. It wouldn't be impossible for you to have seen it.
Hey. I had nothing to do with that, in case you were wondering.
I didn't figure. Didn't seem your type of grudge.
finish your drinks and relocate with the rest of your lot. If you want to set adrift together, we can do that. If not, you got other things to do in the sea, we can set a meeting spot. Leave that to coordinate with you. I've got a ship to put back in order. Damn drow are hitting harder than ever. Gonna patch holes.
Do you know anything about the vampire that's camped out in what's the season?
Fucking what now?
It's just like a house, right? That's sitting out.
Yeah. It's literally just a house on an island, basically.
Yeah, in what sea? I'm trying to remember. I can't remember what sea it's in.
It's down these two little bitty tunnels, which are kind of out of a sea. It's up here.
There's a small channel, and within we met a vampire.
But the fucking Kraken's teeth? That's what that little cave there is called, the Kraken's teeth.
Oh, yeah, sure.
Well, I mean, it lives up to the name.
Because a fucking Kraken lives there.
Well, it did.
Not anymore. Now a vampire lives there.
Did?
Now a vampire lives there.
And is studying it.
Yeah. Anyways, he has a book on these dragons. Is that something you think's still worth anything you wouldn't know?
Just processing that the Kraken's dead. That's good. I
don't know. There is a vampire now, and a vampire that can kill a Kraken. That's kind of scarier if you think about it.
I don't know nothing about a book written on dragons or Maladraxxus. Never met the fucker myself. You think it's worth? You can look into it. I don't know nothing.
I think we could try our luck again. It might have some insight that could be pivotal.
Well, remember, give me the mirror, then we'll square. I'll deal with the disappointment of me crew.
I can do that.
To worry about.
We've got it.
And with that, you make your way out. The thing I will end this session on is something that Nilgrim, you know from that conversation. The blue dragon, the nemesis of Maladraxxus, in Cephalon, he was the ancient blue dragon that Durin Trinehammer fought and killed to claim the mountain that would be Dammerhall.
All right.
Gumbo,
so we killed his daddy?
Make a note of it or something so I don't forget, but I wanted to do something while we're basically chilling on this boat.
I mean, yeah, whatever you want to do.
It has to do with like alchemy and stuff. We can take care of it next time.
Okay.
I was just thinking about it during the downtime of what I was going to do, and I had an idea that I'm kind of tooling around. That this seems like a good time to do it.
Yep.
Maybe not here, but I'll message you. I have an idea of what I want to work with.
Okay, so when we go back, so when we go back to the crew, we say we got them to give us all of the loot except for one piece.
Also, if this is an ancient dragon, we are boned if we actually have to fight one on like full on. Isn't it like a CR 30 or something? Or maybe
it's 23 or something like that.
Yeah.
Check. I have
like
the sheet right here.
Don't worry about
it. Maybe more of a stealth mission. Don't our missions start off as stealth missions?
Until they go sideways.
CR 24.
We need need somebody who can learn pass without a trace, okay? It's all plus 10 to stealth.
We're gonna stealth run this.
Thrum, goddammit, why weren't you still a ranger with spells?
Is this like actually absolutely something we can't take?
Oh, 100%. If we fight it, we will die in a single blow each.
I I mean, not quite that extreme, but it's.
I don't know.
pretty
If he breathed on us, I think we'd all instantly die.
Yeah, an ancient red dragon does 2066 fire damage with its breath.
Yeah, we pretty much be toast.
Some of you are resistant.
26 d6, 86 damage. That's exactly my health.
Yeah, but you may have resisted that, so it'd only be like
Only half
43.
my health. Oh, shucks.
Yeah.
You just have to
And they only have how many hit points?
Only like 500, 800.
Guys,
I mean, assuming I didn't modify the default one from the monster manual, 546.
Do any Pathfinder
find the one
creatures
patch
have
of
that many
skin.
hit
Oh,
points?
yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
And shoot an arrow in there, and bing, bada, boom. If we slay the dragon, bitch.
Hey, you
No.
do have an axe of dragon slaying.
Well, you see, we find an immovable rod. One of us sacrifices himself to get swallowed. Someone who could preferably teleport. We activate the immovable rod and we teleport out of his stomach. And then he can't fucking move.
Maladraxus the static.
What's the oldest Pathfinder? Is it Great Worm?
I
Yeah.
don't know.
But I don't think any dragons reach that, but there is some Pathfinder stuff, like Archdevils and stuff, that have over 1,000 hit points.
There are only 449 hit points. That's why we have this feeling like, Michael, like we can just go in there and destroy it. Because in Pathfinder, Asteri could have possibly done that much damage in one attack round.
Let's see. A Demon Lord of the same CR in Pathfinder has 553 hit points. So it's pretty on par. But then CR for Pathfinder can go up to like level CR 39 for Lucifer, the Prince of Darkness.
Yeah, there's some.
I
I think
feel like
that's a
you do
third-
so much less damage in 5e than you do in Pathfinder.
I mean, speak for yourself. I can
At
do a
level
lot of
10,
single target
we'd be
damage.
doing- well, yeah, you're built to be a hitter, striker,
Yeah, here we go.
whatever you call it.
Baba Yaga in Pathfinder.
Okay,
has
Baba Yaga's cheating.
Baba Yaga has 782 hit points.
And she's
AC
also immune to like everything.
AC 51. Immune to most things. She regenerates 20 hit points. She literally has runes carved into her flesh where if you make physical contact with a melee weapon, you're affected by, I forgot the spell, but it's the one that if you fail to save, you die instantly.
Oh, Jesus.
Yeah.
Baba Yaga is the most challenging creature in Pathfinder First Edition.
Oh, by
Yeah,
far,
she's
like
a cheat.
I'd rather
Literally.
I'd rather fight Lucifer at level CR 39 than a CR 22 Baba Yaga.
Literally, canonically, they statted Cthulhu in Pathfinder First Edition. Baba Yaga's harder to fight than Cthulhu.
Oh, 100%.